Was Turtle unbelievable? Did you watch this? Oh my!
Yep.
Nathan Trixie, my son.
Yep.
You know,
Turn it on. You gotta make sure you watch.
You gotta watch it. It's
Yep.
incredible. I said, oh my God, he's so smart and he's so.
I'll spell it out for you. It's cunt. Peggy O'Keefe is a cunt. Just to be perfectly clear, she's the biggest cunt I've ever seen.
Okay? In case you didn't fucking hate these people enough, and no matter how much you hate them, I assure you it is not enough. It is okay to hate them. Jesus wants you to hate them. I know that we were taught that, you know, Jesus loves, and no. Jesus got pissed.
Karen admits she and Turtle Boy spoke on the phone 189 times in the year leading up to the trial.
It was almost every day for like 20 minutes. Like, what do you make of this?
It's impossible for me to have any sympathy for any of these witnesses. Definitionally, is it harassing witnesses? Yes, they're witnesses against me in my prosecution. Knowing my school. Just like a lot of harassment. Can I have a moment, please? Sure.
You would have protested the Vietnam War and ended it. This is the modern equivalent to that.
Really, it has to be, we have to constantly remind people that Colin Albert was involved in the murder of John O'Keefe.
Karen admits she and Turtle Boy spoke on the phone 189 times in the year leading up to the trial.
It was almost every day for like 20 minutes.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Happy Saturday.
Catterday.
Saturday. Cats.
Yeah, I think I'm the only
cat lady.
I think I'm the only person that has cats instead of dogs.
Yeah, the rest of us are all dog.
Yep, I have
girls.
Mine is right there.
That is the most stressed out, least spoiled dog I've ever seen in my life.
Big time. And she's snoring, so I really hope
mine
you guys
is
can't hear
too,
that.
right behind me. Same.
I'm sure I'll get some angry cat at some point during this today. So my apologies in advance.
I'm counting on it. I want to see that cat crawl across the table there.
You'll see it. You'll see
I want to
it.
see that. I want to see the cat on Hank's couch or Jen's.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be great if I could make
Yeah.
her appear back
That
there?
would be.
Might have to Photoshop that. You know about Photoshop. How is everybody? Anything happened this week? Anything noteworthy? Anything at all?
Nothing at all. Oh, and by the way, Julie is still a little behind. So
Yeah.
Wi-Fi-ish.
just FYI.
Yep.
Well, I told
Yeah.
y'all
Story of
I
my
told
life.
y'all Julie Carpenter was an alien, so her signal is actually coming from a little bit farther away.
We're going to figure it out, though.
That's a
Everybody
problem
watching
for
today?
sure.
Did everyone watch the hearing yesterday? I didn't get to see it. I was working.
We did.
Sure did.
That was
I
interesting.
gotta say, I like the judge.
Yes.
He's
Judge
very
is
no
great.
nonsense.
Yes. I saw some clips. He seems so.
Mhm.
I think you know that a judge is, doing the right thing when Free Karen Reed starts calling him a McAlbert.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's when you got the money shot judge.
Yeah.
Is that's what they were doing? They were calling him Albert.
Oh yeah, I have clips.
Yes.
I haven't put it up on Twitter yet, but I've already been screenshotting. I mean, they've got his whole history.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
He's corrupt
Everything.
now. So he's involved in the framing.
Yes.
I mean,
He's
how do
still
you
framing
get-
Karen Reed.
How do you get to the point where it's like everybody is the bad guy?
I know. Wouldn't you at some
Wow.
point just figure it out?
Well, y'all know my theory. It's that they're always doing bad things. So they're always in fear of getting caught
Yes.
doing bad
Right.
things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So,
crazy.
Yeah.
It was a good
Everyone-
hearing though. I mean, the judge really seems like he is on it. He
Yeah,
sees what's going
yes.
on and he's
Yes.
calling it out. He's not, he's not mincing his words about it either.
Yeah, I've heard that most judges in Massachusetts have had enough of this and want to put us.
Can't blame them.
Yeah,
cannot blame them.
It's embarrassing.
It must be embarrassing.
Yeah, I would think so.
My favorite part of the hearing was when the judge said, yeah, so this phone extraction that got released, your client did that.
Right.
Like,
yep.
Why is everyone forgetting that? Why?
Yeah.
Because Grant Smith Ellis 24/7 is telling everybody Kate and Tully did it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, there's texts out of him pushing people to put it out, and it's just crazy.
And I forget the term that he used, but basically saying Aiden is trying to set up his own.
Yes.
What was the term? The circumstance. I can't remember the term for the circumstances that he was talking about. And it's basically saying you can't do that.
Right. And you can't bring a witness in who's changed her story 3 or 4. I mean, what? I don't know. I don't think they're ever planning on bringing her in anyway.
No.
I don't
either.
No. She's a pawn to try to get rid of Cosgrove.
Right. Exactly.
And she's a chaos agent. That's all it is.
Yeah, she is a chaos
Isn't there
agent.
I mean, when the judge said that he's the one that would decide if she could testify, I think there's something, because I looked it up, there's something where the judge can determine beforehand if the witness is credible. And I think that's kind of what he was talking about. And Lindsay Catani is not a credible person.
No.
In no shape or form is she credible.
Right.
And that determination of credibility has been made in court. It's not like there's a bunch of people like us saying she's not a credible person. In court,
right.
He has testified to certain things, and it's all on the record that she's credible.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like she's an agent of chaos, like Jenny, I think, just said.
Yeah, she sure is.
Well, I'm glad he made it clear that he's not going to let him benefit from releasing that phone extraction. Like he created the entire situation, and the judge knows. Like, I think that was the first time I've ever heard a judge actually call him out on it this whole time.
Yes, I agree.
So,
I agree. Yeah.
Well, you saw the text messages that Meredith put on Twitter, right? Where he's saying, like, what's going on? Like, why hasn't Jason, or Haley, he called him Haley, but whatever. Why hasn't he released it? Oh, well, he's not titling it properly. Like, they need to know what this is.
I know. Well,
and then to go and say that that's what's going to save him is that extraction being released.
And then she released that unpublished blog that he did on her, and it's horrible. It is horrific. I mean, I don't even know what his lawyers are thinking.
Yep.
They definitely don't want to go to trial, though, which is very interesting.
They look like clowns.
Yeah.
But what was the ones someone pointed out too is that the Microdots dude who made the video about Lindsay is now advocating for her on Twitter, but his video's still up on YouTube making money.
And it's that video is horrible too. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Now he's a fan. Yeah, they're all crazy.
And you know what else is up is the video of Aiden saying how excited he was about this judge and how this was really going to be a great judge and things were going his way and everything's coming up roses for Aiden. But they just put that out of their minds that he said that. Now he's a McAlbert. And so.
And you can't argue with that. That's the problem with these people is like everything changes with the wind.
Yes.
You know, so it's like you even try and have a logical conversation with some of these Turtle Boy supporters. And it's like trying to talk to a doorknob, you know, it's like, it's a waste of time. It really is, because they will change with the wind immediately.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, so we had the tweet up or the comment up. I think we lost it now. I think it was Chicks on Bricks.
Oh, where she was talking about the Vietnam War?
Yes. Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
I still cannot believe that Karen compared her supporters to people who were out trying to end the Vietnam War.
I can.
Right. Yeah. I
she
mean,
also compared herself to Deep Throat, which we will get to in this series.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, in people would argue, oh, well, she was just saying it's like the people trying to end the Vietnam War. I'm like, no, this is her saying that her situation is like the Vietnam War.
Exactly.
And you guys are trying to help her end it. I mean, that comparison is actually incredibly insulting to so many people. That's just wild. And I think it's a part of her marketing plan, right? Is how she really amped people up to make her think, get into my army, get in. We are fighting the big guys. You are going to, be a part of history.
Yep.
Yeah, but it turns out there was no we, guys. That's the crazy thing.
Right.
There was just her.
Yep.
So you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Please.
Okay. All right. So let me give you a little backstory before we start. And there's going to be some reading today, and I apologize for that, but I think you will find it riveting no matter what, no matter how badly I read it.
Damn, we should have got Yuri on here to read the text messages. So you did so good in trial.
That was so fast.
Or Higgins. Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh my God, Yuri was the best.
I can't hold a candle to Yuri. So disclaimer.
You'll come up second place. We'll give you second place.
Third, maybe. So here's the backstory. We have a lot of information. We have a lot of text messages. We have a lot of screen grabs. We have a lot of screen recordings. We have a lot of information that is actually kind of difficult to organize. And so we started a couple weeks ago lining up some things that definitively prove that Aidan Carney is not the author of the Turtle Boy blog. And he's not the author of much of his lives. And so we're going to go through today and we're going to show you kind of line by line proof that it is actually Karen Read using Aidan Carney as a megaphone to get her very distinct and personal message out against the witnesses, against Peggy O'Keefe, against Paul O'Keefe, against everyone involved. It comes straight from her. He's not doing much to alter it. So we wanted to show you that very clearly to combat some of the concepts that are floating out there in the world. So that's what we're going to do today. And we are going to start at the very beginning. We're going to start before the Turtle Boy blog, several days before, not before the blog existed, but before he ever touched the concept of Karen Read. So we're going to start on April 13th, 2023. So go back in your minds. How do I move us over to the side for this?
Hold on.
Like this?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Yes.
Okay. So this is, and I apologize that it's small. This just is what it is. So this is a text message from Karen Read to the intermediary between herself and Aidan Carney. And it is on April 13th. And I want you to really pay attention to some of the photographs that I'm going to show you because you're going to see these over and over again today.
Wait, sorry. I know most of the people here already kind of know some of the story of the case and everything and are aware there was an intermediary, but I think it's important to really, in case people don't understand that part of the story, I think it's important to point out that, so Karen used a person who she was friends with to talk to Turtle Boy. And so in a lot of these text messages, you're going to see quotes, and that would be the intermediary, quoting Karen to Turtle Boy. So it does get a little confusing if you're not understanding that part of it. So,
but I'll tell you where and show you where they're direct quotes, and it actually becomes pretty obvious because of the way that she refers to Aiden in the text. But I just decided to start here because it's a message from Karen Read, and I think that's really important. So this is April 13th. She sends this photograph, which is a photograph that Aiden has used over and over and over again, at least dozens of times. I haven't made it through all 600 or whatever of the posts yet because I'm lining them all up with these messages. But this photo appears frequently. This is a photo of Michael Proctor and some children who are not Jen McCabe's children, but he will call them Jen McCabe's children over and over and over again, even after it is established in court that these are not her children.
And he's never taken it. He's never taken the picture down.
Nope.
Nope. Never. He continues to use it.
And the mother of the children had to come out and say, these are my children. That's what these people did. So Karen, perusing social media did this. This is all Karen.
All Karen.
And that's a good bookmark right there on the fact that Aiden has not taken this down. Yeah. This is information that is false. And so if he is if he is representing himself as a journalist, which we know everything he does contradicts that, this is just a very noteworthy thing to know. If you got your information from Aiden, he's not even
lying.
He's lying. He does not care if you get accurate information.
Nope.
This is also just a quick note to note this picture, which are not Jen McCabe's kids. This is the exact picture that Karen Read had her brother. I was trying to look at the video, and when her two lawyers are giving their speech on the courthouse steps before they were told to stop doing that, you can see her telling Nathan to lift up the picture, lift up the picture, and he's holding a poster they made, a homemade poster with this picture on it, and these are not even, and it says Jen McCabe's children with arrows. These are not her children.
There's some good footage.
Yeah. But her parents were advocating for that too, for that poster to be in the air. That entire family was
telling
a part of this.
Telling everyone, hold it up, hold it up.
Yep.
And there's a great video of it. We'll try to remember because she's screaming at him like for a second. His little tiny arms are really tired because he's been holding it up. And
there's also a 17-year-old boy on the poster, Colin Albert.
Yeah.
It's his football picture from his college.
No, I think it was his high school one. I think it was high school, Carrie. It was green. Yeah, it was his senior year in high school. She had the nerve to put that picture on that poster board. I mean, what kind of woman does that?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's wild, and this is the least wild.
Yeah,
what you're going to see today.
The funny thing about that, so this comment here, can you imagine Ted Daniels? The funny thing about that video, you guys, is Ted Daniels is in the video. You see the back of his head. You guys know that.
That's right.
Staring
in
at the
shirt.
Yeah, I mean that was great. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. We got to remember to post that video. Somebody.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, we got to find it.
Okay, so here's Karen Read, and she says Proctor is to the far left, which is the far right. So I don't really understand that. Colin is the boy. Colin's mother's sister is behind Colin. Proctor's sister is the bride. So in that message, she's referring to a photo that she posted of a wedding above this message. I didn't put the wedding photo. There's a whole blog and everything. I didn't have room. I only get 100 photos, so I didn't have room to include that one. But we'll come back to that wedding, so just keep that in mind. Then she sends the Proctor photo with not Jen McCabe's kids. And then look down below. There's a photo of Karen being arrested.
In her jammies.
So that is in her jammies because she was mowing the lawn. So the next message is also on April 13th at 7 in the morning. And the intermediary is messaging with Jennifer Altman, who you may or may not know, but is a person who has been very heavily invested in this case and an ally to Aiden. And she
has the
says,
personality of an angel.
Angel.
Oh yes, she's just a peach. I mean, the nicest person you'll ever.
She's a lovely person.
Yes.
She's a lovely.
Yeah,
person.
we are terrible liars, guys.
She's lovely.
By the way, yeah.
Don't play poker with any of us.
No.
So this is that morning. And the intermediary says to Jennifer Altman, first, I want to thank you for standing up for Karen. She's a friend of mine since college, and this whole thing is a nightmare. Insert photo of Michael Proctor without Jen McCabe's kids. So she's giving this to Altman, and she says, this is the lead detective, Michael Proctor, and Jennifer McCabe's children. Elizabeth Proctor is his wife. My guess is that a fight broke out in the house and it went too far, and she goes on to conspiracize, through these messages. But the important part is we're going to do the Georgia Kappelman thing, right? We're connecting the way the information flows. The information flowed from Karen to this intermediary and now to Jennifer Altman.
Can I just say something? Like, when you're looking at this, what in the world does Jennifer McCabe's children and who Michael Proctor's wife is matter?
I was just thinking
when
that.
it comes to, I mean, it's just so, every time I see this stuff, I just get more and more angry because it's so ridiculous to invade these people's lives like this.
It is. It's awful. And to take their photos of their happiest moments and use them in this way is so violating.
And just to interrupt for a second, just so everybody's aware who's watching, the reason that they reached out to Jennifer Altman was because Karen had seen her posting about her case on Facebook. So, because she was from the very beginning scouring social media. So that's the reason she reached out to Jennifer Altman.
And you'll start.
Facebook?
What?
Did you say Did you say the Facebook, Karen?
No.
I thought I heard that.
I didn't mean to. If I did, I'm not that old.
That old Facebook.
My dad. Are you on the Facebook?
The Facebook thing.
Those youngins are on.
She went on to the Facebook right before she went to the Walmart. Oh, Carrie, you're never going to live that down.
I didn't say it. I got to rewind.
Yeah, I probably made it up, but I mean, what are you going to do?
All right.
Okay. So now we're going to move on to April 17th, which is a very important date. So Jennifer Altman asks the intermediary, do you know who Turtle Boy is? He has a blog coming out about Karen in this case, which he doesn't yet because he needs all of this to start his blog. Do you have any pictures of Jennifer McCabe and her sister? And this, you'll see this, what she's asking for shortly. Then there is a post from Clarence Woods Emerson, which is one of Aiden's many Facebook accounts that got taken down for term of service violations. And he cannot wait. He's gotten these photos. He's gotten these images. He's gotten primed by Karen Reed. And he's just dying to write this article. So he impulsively posts on Facebook, I'm currently working on perhaps the craziest story I've ever written, involving a Boston cop who probably was involved in murdering another cop, followed by an elaborate cover-up designed to frame the murdered cop's girlfriend. So this is where it starts. So then there's another message from Jennifer below that says, I put you in touch with him. So that is her saying to the intermediary, I'm connecting the two of you. So here's where we are in the funnel. So then
this is what date? This is April.
This is
April 17th.
April 17th.
The day before his blog goes out. Okay.
Correct. So here's the message connecting the two of them. Look at little Clarence in his Santa hat for whatever reason in April. So this is a message between Jennifer, Aiden, and the intermediary. Jennifer, intermediary. I'm getting you in touch with Aiden Kearney, who is Turtle Boy. He's doing a blog on Karen. No, he's not. He hasn't done it yet. And the whole cover up. He has not written one word. Just keep that in mind. And the whole cover up. He's the best investigative journalist anywhere.
I'm questioning.
I have snark. I have snark here.
Yeah, I love
made a
it.
point of snark.
We will be pausing for Ginny Snark throughout the duration of this program. Please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle. Thank you.
Point of snark. He's the best investigative journalist anywhere. I mean, I'm just sitting here reading this like he's Bob Woodard reporting on Worcester women of Walmart. You know, like that's how she speaks. He's the, did I say it right? Did I say
Like,
it
what
right?
is she?
Right?
You did.
What is she talking about? What is
Right.
she
It's
talking about?
He's the best investigative journalist anywhere.
Anywhere.
Do you wonder
Anywhere.
what kind of books she reads? Like probably those romance novels with the Fabio on the front. If she
100%.
I mean, my God.
100%.
I don't even know. I don't know what to say. I don't.
I laughed so hard when I saw that. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Anywhere.
We
Anywhere
can't all
in the
have
world.
good taste,
Anywhere.
right?
Apparently.
So the intermediary says, "Hi, Altman." Oh, hang on. Sorry. I don't know what is going on. I'm boomering it up over here with the phone noises.
Why is he using his Clarence? And that's another thing to note is obviously everyone probably listening
He's
already
always
knows.
used that on Facebook. That was always his.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a
'Cause
lot
he
of
started out
communication.
under those pen names, right? Because he couldn't
Yeah,
right.
be
Yeah.
couldn't be
Yes.
himself, and he just continues it. And he does talk about himself in the third person, and he messages himself and has entire conversations. So I mean, this is very normal.
Yeah, this is normal. If you're out there doing this, you do not need medication or anything. If you're
Nope,
talking
don't
to
need
yourself
a-
on your
a
burner,
padded cell or anything like that. Just
No.
keep going.
none of those little restraints on your face, nothing.
No. What do
So
they
the
call
inter-
that when like they arrest somebody and it's like that suicide vest? Is that a turtle suit?
Yeah, it's a turtle.
Yes.
Call it that?
Yes.
Yeah, he needs
Now
a
it
turtle
is.
suit.
Now
Yeah.
it is. Okay, so the intermediary. Hi, Altman. Thank you for putting us in touch. Let me ask Karen for her blessings. Okay, nothing happens without Karen, guys. Nothing. Not a message, not a blog post. I'm surprised any of these people can go to the bathroom without asking Karen first.
Maybe
So
we'll see a
Clarence-
message like that.
Yeah, we might. No spoilers, Julie. Jesus, this is from Clarence / Aiden. Jesus, I'm so sorry. I'd love to get the word out about this. In other words, I would like to make some money off of this information that you've given me. I understand there's been some coverage, but this should be the biggest story in the news, and Karen should be immediately exonerated. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I had a little friend. He was my best friend when I was growing up. I met him when I was 5 years old. We used to do really crazy stuff. Like one day we dug a huge hole in the yard because for some reason we thought we could get to China.
Love it.
I mean, you wouldn't believe the crazy stuff we thought of when we were 5. This is how this reads. Like that level of unearned excitement about what should happen.
Yeah, immediately exonerated based on what?
Right. Well, I was just thinking that. How do you know that? How do you know anything? Like,
yeah, that's
you want to exonerate her? Why?
Because he got a message from Jennifer Altman.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That's crazy.
Exonerate her.
It's like that the opposite of that straight to jail guy.
Right.
Exonerate.
Exoneration.
I mean, what the hell? This is all the information this guy has at this point. So,
Yep.
Okay. So
Which I
now-
mean, just sorry to cut you off, but that just
That's
goes
okay.
to show you the evidence didn't matter because
No,
he's
it
already
never did.
saying this before he has any evidence.
That's a great point.
So
And I'm
it never
pul-
was going to matter.
it was never going to matter. And I have some things that I'm going to say about journalism at the end of this. So just try to like keep some of this stuff in your head, because you're not going to be allowed to leave this presentation until we all agree that Aiden Carney is not a journalist.
Okay.
I'm already on board.
Let your family know you're not coming home. Okay.
We need a billboard.
We do. Okay, so remember when there was a request for a photograph of Jen McCabe and her sister? This is now produced by the intermediary. The intermediary produces the photo. Again, this is super violating. Nicole front left, Jen front right.
Can I just say they're a cute little family? Look at those
so
sisters.
cute.
They're
Jen's
adorable.
So cute. I know. It's like you can tell they're just like super bubbly. And this photograph, again, like the photograph of Proctor, he includes this photograph on nearly every blog post for a long time after this. Just like this adorable picture of these girls. He just inserts it into his nonsense. So this is the first that he gets, right? So then the intermediary says, hey guys, without me saying too much, don't say too much. It's so Nancy Drew. It's very unwise to assume this wasn't planned. The defense has more bombshells. This is why I tweeted earlier today, whenever you see the word bombshells, I want the hair on the back of your neck to stand up. It's always a lie. Teaching John a lesson was the plan at a minimum. Altman, let's lay low for a bit until the next bombshell.
You know what this reminds me of too is when they were stirring the pot with Scanlon and the turtle chat. That's what, you know. Oh goodness.
Teaching John a lesson.
Let's, as a matter of fact, Julie, let's watch that clip. I'm glad you brought that up.
I love
insisted he had no inside knowledge.
Why is it stopping? What are you doing?
It's probably my internet.
Interviewed him. He disputed Karen and Yannetti's story. The tipster said he learned details about the case from talking to them and insisted he had no inside knowledge.
So that is also a theme, right? So whenever Aiden says something on his blog, he actually got it from Karen. He'll say it's from a source, and I have a couple examples of that today, but it actually came from Karen. And the information that Karen and Yannetti said came from Scanlon, Scanlon said it came from them. So note the theme. Okay, so bombshells, laying low, etc. So let's just kind of take a look at these together. So these are the messages between the intermediary and Altman and Aiden. And then there's a new photograph, which also will be used ad nauseum on his blog, which is one of the first hearings, if not the first hearing. Jen McCabe is to the left of the photo, and he will discuss her and the woman who is crying quite a bit on his blog later. So these are all the text messages that I've already shown you. I'm just chronologically lining everything up for you. Then on the left, this is where they're describing the intermediary is describing who is in that photo at the hearing. So you can see at the top, it says the very first hearing. Right above this is the photograph that I just showed you. When I get home, I'll find photos on their Facebooks. Guess what, guys? Major news coming very soon. And this is a technique. And this technique happens with Karen. It happens with Aiden. You know, that you always got to keep everybody on the edge of their seat, which is another parallel to the Delphi case. So he says, I'll be very happy to break this. I run Turtle Boy Daily News. Below this.
He's so proud.
He's so proud.
He has yet to say I'm award winning, which is shocking.
Yeah.
It's like, mommy.
It's like it's CNN. I run Turtle Boy Daily
News.
Like everybody's going to be like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Which,
so
I mean, guys, just let me interrupt. That should tell you something, that the only person she could get to believe her fantastical fiction story was Turtle Boy Daily News.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay, so now the next part of that text message is really important because the intermediary posts a photo, which is a family photograph. And note that she puts the source there. So she says publicly available on visco.com. Now, that's just like a social, it's like Instagram. Mm-hmm. And you'll see throughout today that Aiden is being told where to say his information came from. Okay. Came from Karen Read, but we got to say publicly available on visco.com because this guy is so lazy.
Right.
He's not going and getting any of this himself. If it is not coming to his phone on his soiled couch, he is not posting it. So here she is giving him his source for him. Then she says, Jen McCabe, second from right, Brian Albert, back row, dark hoodie. And then he says, obviously, Jennifer McCabe did not kill him on her own. And it sounds like O'Keefe and Albert barely knew each other. Intermediary says they didn't know each other. McCabe and O'Keefe are good friends, which is true. Then he almost does a journalism a couple times. What would the motive be? He was only there 15 minutes before he died. And then they got the dog to bite him. So you can hear how ridiculous it already is. And we can't have that. So she says, Clarence, give me your cell number.
I think this is an important time too to point out that there are people, conspiracy pushers, who are like, why did Jen call John and not call Karen that night when they were coming to 34 Fairview? And this right here shows you is
she didn't have her number.
Yeah, John was Jen's friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, and then again, I'm showing you this exact same text that I showed you before, just so you can get ready for what's next, which is the true author of the Turtle Boy blog with her mouthpiece, Aiden Carney.
Dun,
So
dun,
this
dun.
is a team. So let's see. Let me take this down. Okay. So let's go to blog post number 1. So all of this is in the lead up to the very first post he ever does on this case. And what do we see? We see the first photo that was ever exchanged between these people, which is the photo of Michael Proctor with not Jen McCabe's children. But what does he say? But Trooper Proctor never mentioned that he was close personal friends with the McCabe and Albert family, which is a very prominent name in Canton.
He was not. Yeah, he was not. He was not close friends with them. Like
and just to reiterate, Michael Proctor never met Matt McCabe, Jen McCabe, Brian Albert, or Nicole Albert ever.
Correct.
All a lie.
I have a question. Do you think that Karen knew these were not Jen's kids, or do you think she was so obsessed with trying to connect dots that she actually thought?
Yes. Yeah. The latter.
Yeah. Frantic, drunk, hotel scrolling or something.
Yeah, I don't think she cared. I mean, there's 3 girls with brown hair. I think she just...
She had met them before, though, right?
No, she had met them before. She had been at Jen's house. So I mean, I know all Jen's girls, and I don't know why Karen would think those 3 girls, to be quite honest. So I don't know how to answer that question because those are not Jen's children.
Isn't one of the girls blonde, Carrie?
No, they're all brunette.
Why did I think there was why? I don't know why I'm.
You know what? So, now that you say that, yeah, maybe like different.
It's like a dirty blonde. It's like
yeah. But I mean, these girls do not look like Jen McCabe's children. So I don't know. I don't know if she thought they were them now that, you know.
And what's really awful about that I found when I was going through all these posts and matching these up is that Aiden posted photos of Jen McCabe's actual children, like in lineup side by side with these children trying to make it work. And, you know, at the end of the day, it was effective because all the ding dongs just ran with it. You know, Aiden said it, which means Karen said it. So they just took it and ran.
Right.
Do you remember, Carrie, the fight that we used to have with a certain content creator about whether or not these kids were Jen McCabe's kids? Do you remember that?
Yes.
And it was, I mean, oh goodness,
I mean,
bad memories.
Yeah, and no one has ever taken it back or said that it was a mistake. I mean, they've never told all of this mob who has been attacking these families for 2.5 years that these are not her children.
Julie,
which a journalist would do. If a journalist had made a mistake, a journalist would do that.
A
Julie,
journalist would have
private chat me and let me know who the YouTuber was. I'm curious.
Oh, okay, sure.
Who the content creator.
Right? Yeah, private chat us all.
Oh, you know what? I know.
I know.
Do they have a podcast too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you were in some of those conversations. Yes,
Yeah.
there was a podcast involved in that. Yes. Yes.
As if they would know
have
better.
mercy.
As
Yeah.
if they would know better than
Right.
Jen McCabe or
Right.
people
Or
that
her
Jen
attorney.
McCabe, whose
Who her children are, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah, I mean, Jen McCabe is
and-
able to fly around Canton with a Faraday bag, but she doesn't know who her kids are. That makes sense.
Right.
Wouldn't a real journalist, before you publish pictures of children, wouldn't you verify? I mean, wouldn't you be dead certain about who those children were? He didn't do any of that. He just like took the picture from his text and he's like, yep, this is who this is. Cause you know, I've got a source.
Because Karen told him.
And it's a murder defendant told him.
A murder
Correct.
defendant told him.
Correct.
Nope. He never did any checking, and that is, you're gonna see that. So
Does the YouTuber have teeth?
Drew, you crack me up.
Shockingly, yes, he does.
Are
we sponsored by
our,
Colgate this time or no?
Josh Mankiewicz, Drew. He's got the.
He does sound like Josh. Drew, have we
Yes.
told you that you
Yeah.
remind us of Josh Mankiewicz? Because you do.
I mean, he doesn't look like him. He sounds
but he sounds
identical.
so
No.
like him.
He does sound like him.
It's very comforting. I love it.
I agree.
Okay. So I don't know about you. I'm not sure if all middle-aged single men in Worcester use pink as the pen color on their iPhone to scribble out the faces of not Jen McCabe's children, but I'm pretty sure that this photo was doctored by someone else before it was given to him.
Yep.
Oh, good point.
So here we have the text message side by side with the photograph. So again, flow of information, Karen, intermediary, here's Altman, here's the photo on his blog. And he doesn't even crop out. So it's exactly the way it looks on Altman's text. There it is.
And Lydia, look at that, like putting Courtney Proctor's name out there for all of his
part of
crazy
it.
readers to see.
He did it on purpose.
He did it on purpose.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep. He could have cropped that out.
Well, and he
Yeah.
knows they're rabid. He knows they're
Yeah.
going to look for Courtney too. Like he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, and there's a much clearer example of that coming up, but it's a signal that he uses quite a bit to get the word out to the flying monkeys to go pull up somebody's LinkedIn, pull up their public Facebook posts, spread them all over the internet, see if you can see if they've had a parking ticket. This is just one of the dog whistles that he uses all the time. So, and it says, but Trooper Proctor never once mentioned. So that paragraph that I read to you before is ripped from the text. So he's not even altering it very much. Then same blog post, the photograph that was requested of Jen McCabe and her sister. Again, I will note the magenta underlining, and that's an interesting choice, but this is from his blog post. And then underneath it, it says on the left, Sister Nicole Albert, the wife of well-connected Boston Police Sergeant Brian Albert. Albert is on the fugitive apprehension team, is a trained MMA fighter, and was featured on the cop show Boston's Finest. Now, that is 2 slides away, but that
let me just interrupt. He is not a trained MMA fighter.
Right.
Let me just make that clear.
But that information came
Wait,
from.
hold on. So Karen didn't know him. So where is she getting that information?
That's what I was just going to say.
She saw a video on she saw a video on YouTube, and he was in a charity boxing event, and so it was part of that Boston Finest. So they had like put that on there, and Karen made up a whole backstory of how. I mean, I know a trained MMA fighter. I can tell you that Brian is not. I can tell just by looking up, he's not a trained MMA fighter. Those guys are a little bit different.
But there's an interesting part of the timeline here, and another person involved where this information came from specifically to Aiden on April 15th. So just keep that in mind for 2 more slides.
Yeah.
This is why I asked you. Yeah, this is why I asked you that question a certain question the other day. So here is the text from the intermediary in answer to the request, and here it is on the blog post, just to like cement this in your mind, because again, this is going to show up again. But here is a text from a girlfriend named Lauren. This is on April 15th. So this is 2 days earlier. And she says, "Have you seen this story yet?" And he says, "Holy shit." And she says, "Yeah, I knew the newest suspect pretty well. He was a regular at Kelleher's, big party guy. He hasn't been out in a long time now. I know why." And below Brian Albert's photo, it says he was on Boston's Finest, the show Janetti was on. And later, there's a text message that says where Aiden is talking to the intermediary, where he's like, "Look, even I didn't know about this. Lauren sent this to me." Mm-hmm. So Lauren sent this to him
is
on the 15th.
Is this the Lauren that we think it is?
It is.
I'm pretty sure it's the Lauren that we think it is.
Yeah, same Lauren.
Oh, we should put a picture up of that Lauren. I wonder how these people would like the turnabout of these things.
Well, and what's interesting, if you followed the lore, is that there is a lot of crazy fighting that Aiden has with Lindsay over this Lauren person. So when I saw her name, that's why I was like, wait a minute, is that the one? Yeah. So I had to go back and I had to ask Julie her name. So there you have it.
I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to say her last name. We're going to be a little more respectful, but
yes,
than they are of other people. But I know her last name.
Yep. So is she friends with Altman, and is that how she's in this little inner circle?
No, he was dating her. I don't know if he was dating her at this time.
Oh god.
They were an item, and then like she just keeps hanging around. Like it's an interesting kind of dynamic there, but yeah. Former person that he cheated on his wife with. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
So now we're going to, I'm not going to go in strict chronological order, and there's a reason for that I think you'll see. But now we're going to jump ahead a little bit. And also just like pulling the text messages together is kind of hard. So I jumped around where I knew I could make a connection. So we're going to go to April 23rd, 2023. So this is the intermediary and Aiden. And Aiden says, Colin, there's another message above it. Colin, it ends with Colin was in the house. She says her parents stopped by, whatever. Then he says on April 23rd, he says, "Did you realize a nurse was in that house, Levinson?" The intermediary says,
just stop
yes.
you for
Yes.
Sorry, can I just stop you for a second, Lydia? We showed you guys this text and we stopped it at the Levinson part. And I think I said when we showed it, like, here's another person we're going to go on to attack. So this is that text, the rest of it. So you guys saw this on the Colin show, and now you're seeing the other half of it.
Mhm. Yeah. We should give little gold stars to people who have been paying attention from the beginning.
Remember? Yeah.
Our little Easter eggs. So the intermediary says, yes, half the women who hang around these cop families are nurses. So now here we're demonizing nurses. Too. We can't just hate cops. We have to hate nurses and firefighters and EMTs as well.
And just for anyone who doesn't know, Levinson, Sarah that they're talking about is, I think at the time, Ginny might remember better than me, 22 years old. 22, 23.
Something, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is a kid who is friends with Brian Albert Jr. and was at the house celebrating his birthday. So now they're gonna go after this poor young woman.
They are.
Yeah. 22, 23.
22,
already far more accomplished than
Yes.
Aiden Carney will ever be.
Yes. Who takes care of people as her job, takes care and cares for people. And now they're going to go after this nurse.
And I don't know about y'all, but when I was 22,
and just a genuinely nice person, right? Just a
such a nice
sorry,
person.
I totally interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Yeah. But when you were 22, were
it just
you
makes
like
me so angry because sorry. I mean, these are kids. These are kids starting out their life.
Yes. I know. It's infuriating. It's infuriating.
It makes my blood boil. These are people that have their whole lives ahead of them. And then this moron who thinks he's a reptile gets involved with this murder defendant, and they do this stuff. Like, it's just,
this woman's job was called over and over again.
Yep.
They went to her job. This is what these people did to.
Yep.
And this woman did not know the McCabe's. She did not. I mean, she was there with her friends. She has no relation to the McCabe or the Alberts.
And when I read this, like, and I do have to say, like, going through all these is very stressful for this reason. Like, you think about what were you doing when you were 22?
Yeah.
And what I can tell you what I was not doing when I was 22 was like seeing a fun, boy or, a cute boy or a fun girl or whatever and thinking, oh, I can't hang out with them because they're not cops. I mean, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. I think when you're young, you kind of stay away from cops. You try to, right? I mean,
well, I grew up
I'm just kidding.
Like
that was
near
just me.
the police. So, but yeah, you're mostly trying to avoid them. Okay. So now I'm going to move. So this is April 23rd. So now we're going to go to April 24th. April 24th. There is a photograph that the intermediary sends with the Sandra Bullock photo. It says, friend, I can't find him on social media, me. And then Sandra Bullock is an FBI agent. So what she's saying is I can find people on social media. So he says, because this is from the day before the conversation about Levinson, doing a quick blurb about Sarah Levinson.
And it gets him a heart.
Gets him a heart.
Yeah.
So gross.
Yeah.
So then he asked the intermediary, did Jen McCabe drive her home? Did she drive Sarah Levinson home? The intermediary said, okay, this is not journalism. Again, the intermediary says, let me check my notes. I'm at my laptop. Normally it's the reporter who has notes. And then he says, I got it. And then this note at the bottom is going to continue on the next one. Tell him Proctor. So when this says tell him, you don't communicate like that in text, right? So this is Karen. So she's copying the message from Karen and pasting it into this chat with Aiden. So she says, tell him Proctor, likely intentionally, spelled her and Julie Nagel's names wrong.
Because that would solve everything. Yeah. They would never figure out who those people were.
The H missing throws off. Yeah. I mean, not even the FBI is going to be able to find her at this point.
Like, is she serious?
No.
What?
I mean, one letter.
So Karen,
what kills me is, oh God.
Her name is
over
Sarah.
an H at the end of her name. Are you kidding me?
Her name is Sarah, not Sarah. 2 exclamation
Sarah with
points
an H.
from Aiden. And then so now note in the middle of this vast conspiracy to spell people's names wrong because the police will never find him again. So FYI to any criminals who are in our audience right now, I very much encourage you to just change one letter of your name. They'll never find you. Never.
Oh, I mean,
in all fairness, that's what Olivia Lambeau did.
Yeah. Well, now I spell my name Jenny instead of Ginny.
And I'm Linda. Yeah.
That's unreal.
So in the middle
Julie with
of
a
this,
Y. It's Juliy.
Oh, that's so great. So in the middle of this conversation about the conspiracy that Karen has sent to the intermediary to send to Aiden about the intentional misspelling of the name, there is a police report. Then down at the bottom, and this is one of these ones that just makes my stomach flip over. Nagel and Levinson are also both MIA on social media as of today. And there are numerous notes in here about gloating about the fact that Colin took images down from Visco, that these girls are not on social media. So this is pride that they are harassing young women and young men to the point where they're removing their social media. And it just makes me sick.
They're very happy that they have spared all of these kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're kids. And so when you're that age, you're in your early 20s, social media is really important. And they have driven them off social media at this point because of the things they're doing. It's disgusting. Tell me that's not witness imitate. Can't talk. I get so mad. Witness intimidation when people are changing their lives. I'm gonna need really to do some deep breathing after this.
And I just want to make the point. This came from Karen. This starts with tell him. Okay. So then we'll move on to 424. So on 424, and just for the tinfoils out there, the reason the resolution on some of these are different is some of them I took from recordings. There's a recording from the phone of all of the messages. I took some screenshots from there. There are some higher resolution screenshots. This is one of them. So it's a little clearer. It's a little easier to read, but it's also a little bit smaller. So sorry about that. I'll read it to you.
We need your metadata.
What?
We need your metadata. Prove it.
My name is Lidia. Okay. So there's the police report. So you can see the prior message that I showed you is partially in this one. And then there's the social media message. And then Aiden says, has she testified in front of grand jury? Intermediary says, nope. Then he says, why spell the names wrong? In case people Google? No shit. And then she says to hide their identities from us, make them tough for the defense or the public to track.
Oh my God.
Like that is gross.
Yeah, we all know that your PI found them. So
yeah.
Right. So this is 424, right? So he's getting these messages the same day and he's so impulsive. He just got to just vomit it all out there onto his blog immediately. So he says, it's up. Immediately after getting these messages. These are in sequence. There's no time in between them. And he says, they're protecting everyone in that house, including her. A healthcare worker letting a man die in front of her and then lying to police to cover for his killers. Her friend's father. This is defamation. Mm-hmm. And when we go to the journalism part at the end, we're going to talk specifically about defamation. So he is accusing a young woman who is a nurse who just got out of college, presumably, of letting a man die in front of her and then lying to police. That's where he went from this information that Karen gave.
Lydia, he actually he either wrote in his blog or he said it on one of his shows, and I'll never forget it, that Sarah walked over John O'Keefe's dead body. That's what he said.
I remember.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that is what he said.
No.
I will never forget it. I said it on the 34 Fairview podcast because I will never forget that.
Why do I not remember that?
Was that in Alive, Carrie?
Yes.
Was it Alive?
I think it was Alive. Was it Alive or was it? I can't remember exactly what it was. I mean,
we'll find
so
that.
She's again.
I actually feel like it might have been in that blog that he wrote about her.
Oh,
I think I'll look.
I can't remember, but I could not. I'll never forget that he said that. Never.
And the thing is too, is like filling in the gaps with imagination and allowing readers to read it or viewers to hear it and picture it themselves really makes it feel real. So this is just the very, very beginning of a craft of a story that is not based in reality.
Yes.
And what do we know now? We know he never even went in the house because now they have him in the garage.
Right.
She's also not suing
because
Sarah
of his phone
or Julie Nagel or Brian Albert Jr. I mean,
I'm sorry, you cut out. You said she's not suing Julie Nagel,
Sarah Levinson or
Brian Albert. Right.
Right.
So there's that.
I mean, you can just see the changing of the story over time.
Yes.
And that's the one thing, if people who believe that Karen is guilty, the story, for the most part, is very static. And so, I mean, there's people who differ on whether it was intentional, whether it was him throwing the glass at the taillight or whether the taillight hit his arm. But the story of the conspiracy, it has gone like this. It has gone, there's a missing shoe, they hid it under a pool. This, it just constantly, and then it gets debunked and they move on and they shift and they constantly are changing the
goalposts.
Yes.
Yeah.
It evolves as needed. It evolves as needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
So we don't skimp on bylines here at our low budget show. So shout out to the author of blog post number 9, Karen Reed.
Yeah.
Here it is.
I mean, look at this. Look at this.
Oh, poor Sarah.
This is one of the dog whistles that I was talking about. So look at the title of this blog post. Canton cover-up part number 9. Woman in house where John O'Keefe was murdered is, and then he names her employer.
It's
nurse,
so disgusting.
Sarah Levinson.
So
name
disgusting.
was intentionally misspelled. So he put the entire glut of information that he got from Karen Reed into the title of this blog post. And then all he does in his posts is just add to it. He adds pictures of Colin. He adds pictures of Jen. He repeats this information. But so look over here on the left, 42423 is the police report. Her name is Sarah, not Sarah. And then all of that is in the title on the right in the blog post, as well as the police report.
Because Michael Proctor left the
It's just
H
copy and
off of
paste,
the name
like-
Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine being Sarah.
He's like top level there.
Yeah, imagine being Sarah.
As
It's
far as
awful.
trying to hide stuff.
I mean, waking up, kind of like Chris Albert said in our interview. He's like, we just kind of woke up one day.
Yes.
And Colin was an accused murderer by the public.
Yeah.
So how many calls do you think the hospital where she worked got after this blog came out?
Oh,
Right.
hundreds.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the
this
messages,
picture,
continue to come.
This picture of her, is that like a wedding? That's what it looks like. I mean, they're taking
It
these
looks like it.
pictures of memories of these people's lives that are happy memories. And now
Yeah.
every time they see these pictures, it's associated with this. I feel terrible for these people. Like,
Awful.
how do you not understand the damage that you've done? I mean, how do you not get it? Like,
Well,
Right.
you don't
And to
care.
say intentionally
I don't know. I love
in
looking
that
at old pictures. And when
Right.
Sarah looks at
Right.
this picture,
in that headline, to say a name was intentionally misspelled, that is an assumption. That is a speculation. And
Well,
he's
that's what
reporting
Karen-
it
that's what
as a
Karen Reed
fact.
told him. That's what
And
Karen Reed
that's
told him.
right. And that's exactly what the murder defendant told him.
Right.
He is taking that as a fact.
well,
With-
what's
It's okay.
interesting about it is he's saying this is intentional, and yet in the same breath yesterday he's saying, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I can't remember when he said it, like, how does anybody know my intent? You did an entire series with like 300 parts where you filled in the blank and you told the world what Michael Proctor's intent was. So I mean, it's amazing how hypocritical these people are.
He is the definition of a hypocrite.
Yep.
Yeah, they should just put his picture in the dictionary and everybody would know.
I do not want to see that, Julie. Thank you very much. Don't be violating my rights, Julie.
You're right.
Okay.
That is, I should go to jail for that.
Okay, so now sometimes he'll take the same information and he'll split it. I mean, Karen will split it into 2 blog posts. So shout out to Karen Reed for blog post number 10.
Way to go, Karen.
Way to go, Karen. So in blog post number 10, this is the exact same day. The text message is on the left. So she says that was the deleted 227 search, which of course, none of this is true. She includes the Celebrite extraction report with her interpretation. These two, apparently she is African American in this text message.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Like, why is she using that emoji? Like, what is she doing?
I don't know. These
She's
two
incognito.
Nobody's gonna know it's me.
Yeah.
Right. She misspelled her own race intentionally. These
Oh,
two at
Karen.
623 were not deleted. So then he puts on the right-hand side is the blog post. And then you are allowed this, that's a typo, post these. So she's saying you are allowed to post these. And then there's a message directly from Karen, copy and pasted. Tell TB as soon as the charges are dropped, I'm getting him a Herald subscription because that cheap motherfucker will not pay for subscriptions to, reputable journalistic outlets. And he's constantly saying this is behind a paywall. Can you get it for me?
Yeah, I guess he's still waiting on that subscription. Which is sad because I mean he's lost his Netflix and Hulu because he broke up with Meredith. So poor guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
sad.
And what else was it? He goes to his wife's to watch football, right? 'Cause he won't pay for that either. So.
NFL
Yellow.
whatever
Oh,
it's called.
God.
Yeah.
He can't get his Costner fix. Sad.
Have you ever seen, do you guys
Yeah.
remember
I didn't like
the
Yellowstone.
Olympics? The Olympics with the Australian breakdancer, and she was like all over the place.
Yes.
That's what
It
I
was
feel
the
like when
best.
I've gone on his blog. Like I feel like all the ads popping
Oh
up.
my God.
Olympic winning.
Well, what's so funny is there's a message from the intermediary about how she can't see anything one day because there are so many ads. And so media and stuff won't load because he's just got so many ads. It's so gross. So then
Well, that is
so
a
then-
sign of an award-winning journalist, right?
for sure.
When your website is filled with ads like that, you're definitely an award-winning journalist.
It's all about the content, right? So then he says, so this is on 424. he says blogs up after Karen says she's going to get him a Boston Herald subscription. So he regurgitates what Karen said. He said, why doesn't the attorney offer an explanation why his client Googled that at 2:27 a.m., which she didn't. And then he says, indeed, Jennifer McCabe did not delete the 2 Google searches she did while she was with Karen Read, which she claims Read directed her to do after they discovered John's body. So over there on the left, look at the text. Those 2 at 6:23 were not deleted, Black Karen. So again, blog number 10 is a Karen Read creation. So let's go to Karen Read's next blog post, which is blog number 11. This is a text message about, there's going to be some snark on this one. This is a text message following a message from Attorney Reddington on Facebook to Aiden after Aiden has relentlessly gone after him, and he is messaging Aiden. So Aiden messages Karen via the intermediary, and he says he must be drunk. Talk about unprofessional. So this is the night or the day of this blog post that I just showed you. Alan Jackson. That fucker is way too old to be using emojis, laugh, 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 laugh. So she's relaying a message from Karen, relaying a message from Alan.
Mm-hmm.
Tell Turtle Boy we know for a fact, she and Alan, he was out drinking tonight. That is not to be shared publicly. And this is why I think not to be shared publicly is a code between Karen and Aiden to say, please share this publicly. Because then he goes and shares it on the 25th. She says, obviously don't share anything about AJ, but show the drinks comments from, okay. So here's the post number 11.
Yep.
Where it says, Jennifer McCabe's attorney, Karen Reddington, leaves threatening, possibly drunk comment on Turtle Boy's Facebook page, vowing to dance with me in court. And what he says is, although I can't confirm for sure, it would seem, based on this evidence, that Attorney Reddington was hitting the sauce a little last night. I say that because I assume this man is well educated and has filed documents in court that are indicative of a person who has made it past the 9th grade at Durfee High School. So here he's dropping an Easter egg. Go look up Kevin Reddington's high school photo. This certainly does not indicate that, which leads me to believe he was putting something into his body that altered his decision-making process and ultimately led him to hit the send button 3 times with no regret. So he took the text from Karen and he makes up this story.
Yeah.
And Kevin Reddington would send those texts to him, drunk or not. He gives no Fs. So
no love lost for the turtle.
And I would love to see the conversation between Kevin Reddington and Alan Jackson, where he says to him, I'm too old to be using emojis. That would be a great conversation. I would love to record that.
Well, all I could think about when I saw this was, he's talking about how he altered, or he's obviously making bad decisions based on what he's putting in his body. Literally all I could think about when Alan was saying, that he's too old to be using the emojis was that stupid yellow watch that Alan wears.
This one, Jay?
Yes, that one. What kind of decision-making process went into that? I mean, it literally looks like, I put the Tonka trunk there because that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of how I used to be able to cut out the UPC things. It looks like he had a Tonka trunk collection and he mailed in enough UPC cutouts to get a free watch to go with it. I mean, that's what it looks like.
Remember the cereal boxes and you could do that? You could get prizes and stuff.
Yes.
But
He did it with his Tonka trunk collection.
Does he have a friendship bracelet from Karen on the other wrist?
He always
has handcuffs on it.
He always got those on.
It has handcuffs on it. The little bracelet.
Wow.
because I have a
if
kid.
Bennington is too old to use emojis, Jackson is too old to wear that watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, your little toy watch that you got.
I never saw that picture.
Oh my, that's not the only one. He's wearing it in that picture when he's with Rocco, Jenna,
Yep.
and Nick Rocco too, because it stands out like a sore thumb. I mean,
It's
it is
so
the
ugly.
brightest, like blinding color.
We should have gotten the Rocco picture because he's also wearing his booster shoes in the
Yes.
Rocco picture so that he can come up to Karen's sternum.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That's what
Okay,
we're
I
talking
don't know where
Yeah.
I was. Where was I? Hang on. Hang on. We got there. What is this? Oh, that's that. Okay, moving on. So we're 2 days into the future, and this is one of the most interesting ones. We're going to spend a little bit of time on this. This is on 4/26 of 2023. Aiden is doing a live, and you can see at the bottom on the left, live turtle chat. So this is a screenshot from his live, and well, I'm not going to speculate on what happens. I'll tell you what he said happened. But during this live, all of a sudden his inbox shows up on the screen. And in this inbox are some interesting emails. The top one, Tom Dennison, Helena's husband of Mike something or other. Then Adam Lally lives in Canton.
Jesus.
And then there's a link. Then there is one from Martin Byrne that says O'Keefe, and it has a photograph. Then there's another one from Tom Dennison that says Caitlin Albert, Brian Albert's daughter, Caitlin emoji, and a photo. It's highlighted in this screenshot. Then below that are two very interesting emails, both from Ashley Bell, all caps, Ashley. She doesn't drive by library. Colin Albert lives, cut off. The next one, Colin Albert lives directly next to Canton. I think that says library.
Yeah.
So who is Ashley Bell? You might be asking yourself. Well, I'm going to tell you some things about this incident. So the next morning, Karen sends a message to the intermediary. Be very careful not to inadvertently share his email inbox. People are freaking out. Screenshot. Aiden says, it was an accident and the videos are being edited. My camera became disconnected. Who's Tom Dennison? So at this point, I realize what's happening is Karen is likely, this is an inference, Karen and possibly Yannetti, and maybe Alan Jackson, who knows, are directing people to email so-called tips to Aiden. Because why would Aiden be asking Karen, who's Tom Dennison, when it's his damn inbox?
Right.
So she says, I don't know. But Ashley Bell told Yannetti just now that she's freaking out. Her emails were revealed on the live stream. Another friend of mine asked what that photo was from Dennison. That's why it was highlighted. And then she says, protecting his sources is key to his investigation. So again, you know it's Karen. It's not the intermediary.
Right.
Yep.
Then he says, it's down. I tried editing it, but it erased all but 10 minutes, Boomer. Then emoji. We're going to upload it again with that out of it. And then here's where Kate Peter, International Woman of Mystery, enters the chat. Not really. We're going to upload it again with that out of it. Make a post like you got hacked again. So this is Karen saying that. So he's done it before. And Kate Peter has said this for years, that whenever Aiden releases stuff he's not supposed to be releasing, he claims he gets hacked. This is a pattern that Kate identified years ago. He says, gonna try not to draw too much attention to it. She says, oh, good call. And then Karen says again, best piece by TB so far, most thoroughly researched. He's deep in the weeds now.
Most thoroughly researched. She means I did the most research.
That's exactly what she means.
Complimenting herself.
Yep.
Do we what blog was she talking about? Do we know?
So
That
this
was the
is
best piece.
Yeah, so this is the 27th. The 26th is coming up, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming up, I think. Yep. So who is
David
Ashley Bell?
Yannetti was talking to Ashley Bell.
Mhm. Who is Ashley Bell?
She is someone who lives in Canton, who I believe was the person who messaged Aiden. Julie, am I right on this about the pool being?
You are 100% right. Yep, 100%
So
right.
just, a local Canton person, this is where these people are getting all of these outrageous stories from. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Again, remember, Julie, I think you pointed this out on the Collins series. Karen even admitted that in her interview with Jackson and Ted Daniels, that a lot of this stuff came from local rumors. And here we go again.
Yep.
This more proof of that.
And yeah, and the tie-in here with Yannetti, why would the local rumor person be just ringing up Yannetti?
I mean, just like Lucky, why would he be talking to Yannetti all the time? It's crazy.
And I think
It's
I
disturbing.
mean,
Yeah.
This really
why
is
that
like a cliche small town story.
Yep.
That you see just the rumor mill
Yes.
go wild.
Yes.
And if there were a direct connection between Ashley Bell and Turtle Boy, Ashley Bell would have called Turtle Boy instead of calling David Yannetti, right?
Right.
So again, making a logical inference, the way the information is flowing is from Ashley Bell to Yannetti. Yannetti or Karen are telling her, here's Turtle Boy's email. Email this in as a tip.
Yes.
Because, Yannetti can't send it. Karen can't send it.
Mhm.
So let's have little Ashley Bell send it. So.
Wow.
Unreal.
So, I mean, she's kind of
Unreal.
even playing Aiden here, right? Like, if she's the one directing Ashley to email Aiden, she's also playing Aiden.
Of course
Right.
she is.
Yeah, I mean, and she has from the
Yeah.
beginning, right? The manipulation was off the
Yep.
chart.
Right.
But
he really was a hand puppet, and her hand
Yeah.
was up his
Uh-huh.
yonker.
I mean, well, they needed him. I don't know if you're going to get to it, Lydia, but on this show, we'll get to it eventually, but they used Aiden to say that they used him so that they can get the federal investigation out, right? That's
Right.
why
Oh,
Jackson,
yeah.
it was Aiden's blog, and that's why he was able to go into court that May and say it's been reported in the media, which makes me want to
Right.
throw up because
Right.
the
Yeah.
Turtle Boy blog is not the media, but they
Right.
used him so that they could start that kind of, that investigation really, really made this into an absolute mess. But they needed
Right.
him to report it. They used him, and you can see it now. You can see it from the very beginning where Karen is using this blog to tell her story from her
Yep.
viewpoint with this absolute ridiculousness. And this doesn't happen. Like I've said it before, a third party defense is not uncommon. This is, I think, the first time I've ever seen something like this, where you're taking it outside the courtroom, you're making those accusations, you're harassing these people, you are doing horrible things to these people. I mean, we have the Aiden in that one message from the admin group where he's like, who do you think told me to say you thought you could outsmart Karen Reed? I mean,
Right.
Karen this was all Karen. He was the
Karen.
puppet. You are 100% correct. This was just Karen sending out her little, if he's the Chihuahua, right? So we've got Jen Altman as the pit bull and Aiden's the Chihuahua. I don't know what Richie is. But I don't know what Richie's going to be. I'll think of it, but
I don't want to leave him out of this loop. So I don't want to, and this message is the one that cemented it for me. I don't want people to come away with the impression that he's just like a dumb baby and he didn't understand what was happening, because he's asking Karen Reed, who is Tom Dennison.
Right.
So he knows
Yes, he
where
knew,
the flow of
100%.
information is coming from, and he knows it's coming from Karen. He knows he's getting these every single day in his inbox because of Karen, and he's used to asking Karen, so who's this? What information do they have for me? And then they're like, hey, shut up. act like you've been hacked again. And
Yep.
again, shout out
Yep.
to Kate for recognizing that pattern because it is very
Yeah.
It
consistent.
really is. It really is.
And when we talk about a conspiracy, this is the closest thing
This
in
is
this
the
case that you're going to
conspiracy.
get to a conspiracy. There was nothing on the prosecution side. It was all them. It was all projection. They were doing this. Then they started accusing other people of doing it because they were the ones doing it. It's really just infuriating when you see it.
It is and it kind of took this exercise to really see it, just crystal clear. We all knew it,
Right.
but it's different when
Right.
you see them side by side. So with that, let's give Karen credit because
Karen.
if Karen Reed tells you that you need to say you've been hacked, by God, you're going to say you've been hacked. So here is the next blog post
Oh my
following
God.
this. Canton cover up part 13. Brian Albert's daughter, who allegedly left house 3 minutes before John O'Keefe arrived, is an investigator for the Attorney General's office. And then pictures of this beautiful girl, stolen
Gorgeous.
from her Facebook. And look, he circled her job, of course, because we can't have that, not out there on the internet. But look at the first line. We had to temporarily make last night's live stream private because of comments we made towards a certain protected community early on in the live stream. We're making a brief edit and re-uploading the show. So he makes a story up about how he said something racist or sexist or I don't know what. And that is the reason that his live stream is not up and will be edited and republished. So here is a bigger shot of that. One of the things we discussed was a tip that came in about Brian Albert's daughter, Caitlin Albert, who was at the house on 34 Fairview Road the night John O'Keefe was killed. According to a police report written by Canton Police Sergeant Michael Lank, and this right here is almost word for word from Karen, the only officer who stepped foot inside the house that night, Brian and Nicole Albert told police that their daughter Caitlin had left the house at 12:15 a.m. when she was picked up by her boyfriend Tristan Morris. Again, let's make sure we get everybody's names out there so that y'all can harass these people. So this is a brief comedic break from the facts.
Wow.
This is from
the mind of the mentally ill.
Yes. So this, if you thought that Grant Smith Ellis was beating Jess Machado at this game, I give you this clusterfuck. So anyway, this is just funny. I just picked it out because it's funny. This is a chart of everyone in the house. The arrows show the relation between all the people in the house. The circle means in the house. Oh, I forgot to circle Colin. You know why? Because he wasn't in the house. And I have to add Brian. Yep. I mean, it's just so gross.
And it kind of looks like Jessica Machado's recent
that's what I was saying.
Whiteboard situation.
It does. Expect a Grant Smith Ellis soon. Saying that this was a way that Karen is. Doesn't he say that she communicated to him through a smile or something at some point in the courtroom or the courthouse? So
yes,
Grant.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He did.
It was Meredith, wasn't it? That he said, oh no. Yeah, he also said that. He was also saying Meredith gave him like undercover vibes or something bizarre.
Yeah. He said, I can't remember what he was saying, but it was something basically Karen was smiling at him, letting him know some deep information. I don't know what. But anyway, that'll be another post soon. He'll say that was a shout out to from Karen.
Yeah. And Grant, if you're listening, we are the 5 Pebbles. Maybe you'll get that. Just so you know.
And Kitties, that was just on the screen. I just want to tell you, if you ever change your avatar, I'm gonna die. So please don't, because it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Okay, where are we? So that is a very specific mental illness, that kind of chart. We've seen it over and over again, but it shows you the length you have to go to make this thing work, even visually. Okay, so let's fast forward to 4/29/23. we have a message from Karen, and this is very, very disturbing. So I apologize in advance of what's coming. This is from Karen. Patrick is, but I mean, through the intermediary. Patrick is wearing a jersey with his uncle's murderers on it.
Oh my God.
Carrie Roberts is
Unreal.
a cunt. Always has been.
Oh
Had
my
Patrick,
God.
and we talked about this on our show, this specific incident. Had Patrick kicked out of the town pool the summer after his parents died because he didn't pay $5. So go back to our Carrie Roberts episode, our interview with Carrie. Listen to what she says about this incident that Karen has twisted into something awful and hateful towards Carrie. And also the fact that she calls Carrie that name. This came up on a Spaces yesterday where people are like universally condemning Aiden for calling Peggy and Carrie and everyone else these names. And so Kate and I asked the people in the Spaces, what if you knew that it was Karen that said these things? Would you condemn Karen for saying them? And the reason that we asked that question yesterday is this.
Well, what did they say?
Well, one person said, okay, well, you're asking me to accept a hypothetical. And I said, yeah, I am asking you to accept a hypothetical, but I want you to take it as true. Would you? And they said yes, kind of grudgingly.
Yeah.
But they said yes, that it's reprehensible behavior. And you know, I had already put this together. I already knew I was going to show people it's Karen that's saying this. It's not Aiden. It's not Aiden. It's her. And he loves
She told him to
repeating
go.
it.
Yeah.
He loves repeating it. He enjoys it so much. But this is Karen Reed's message.
Yeah, she is the one who initially gave him the permission to say these things. Like, not, you know, she didn't come out and say, Aiden, I give you permission. You know what I'm saying? Like, by saying things like that, she is giving him the permission to say it as well.
Yes, absolutely. She is. Because what would Aiden even know about Carrie Roberts? It's ridiculous. So then she says, yes, in the blue. Patrick is in the blue. This is from Karen. If he, Aiden, because this is through the intermediary, calls the realtor, have him ask why private showings only and no one was allowed to take photos. So I have this in another part of our series, how this comes out on his blog, but this is almost word for word on his blog. Then she has a snapshot of John's Facebook page. Then she says, tell TB, great job with the geofence. She had been pushing him so hard to cover this geofence information that she has bizarre theories about. I'm so happy other people can finally see how long we've been fighting this case. Donnie DeRico said to pass his number to Aiden if he wants to coordinate with Team Reed on Wednesday. So Team Reed, there are numerous messages prior to this and around this time period. So 2 weeks into his coverage of the blog that discuss him calling Alan calling him, them going to dinner, meeting at the seaport. All of this stuff is going on. So all of the later denials that you'll hear from Alan Jackson and David Yannetti about not associating with Turtle Boy are lies.
Yeah. Do we know who Donnie is?
That's what I was going to ask y'all.
I wish I knew. I don't know.
We'll have to look at that.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
So now here's the really disturbing part, and this is super upsetting. So just brace yourselves. On April 30th, and pay close attention to the words because he does not change them. This is from Karen. Please, if you agree, post something to the quote supporters of the Furbush children. These quote supporters can no longer pretend to care what happens to those kids. They do not want to protect or shield them. Whether you believe Karen Reed or Brian Albert killed John, posting a 12-year-old boy at Little League and showcasing jerseys with the parade route for his uncle's death is a new low for Canton. The kids should not be posted by anyone, not Carrie the cunt,
oh my God,
not the old babysitters. That's not protecting them. That's using them for cover and for attention because these women have such pathetic lives.
She is so disgusting.
She's horrible. She's a
As
horrible
if
human
Mary
being.
had any of that in mind.
Of course not.
Posting a picture of them. I mean, these are children she loves, children she cares about. She's not thinking about Karen Reed when she's posting a picture of them. I mean, her mind is so warped and twisted.
It is.
Yep.
She's from day one, right? Had to turn everyone into a villain.
Yep.
Hasn't she?
Yep.
You know, there was, I think, was it a docu-series, or was it the Vanity Fair? But in one of the, I think it was Vanity Fair, where someone asked her if she is in therapy, and she said no, and she kind of scoffed it off. And why wouldn't Karen be in therapy? Like, I just think, I mean, if you're saying you're framed for murder and the world is against you and all these things, I just thought it was odd that she kind of scoffed at the idea of therapy.
That's interesting.
Sorry,
I
random
missed that
thought,
one.
but,
Yeah. No, I missed that. That is interesting. But you kind of know that Vanity Fair article back
I think
and
it
forth.
was Vanity Fair Tuesday, and I think she said that's what you guys are here for. Like,
Well,
and I can't remember.
You know what?
That's even more interesting.
Yeah. And what's funny too about that, she scoffed at it for herself. But I don't know if it was the same Vanity Fair article or like the very
it
first
was.
She
Yes.
put John down for not continuing therapy.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
God help the therapist. It's got Karen Reed.
Oh my God.
No. Oh, I would retire.
Yeah. Leave the profession.
I would spell my
Well,
name
and,
wrong
you
so
know,
she couldn't find me.
There are reasons why people don't go to therapy, and obviously this is speculative, but I think there are personalities that really try and avoid therapy, and she's one of them.
Oh, Donnie DeRico went to Bentley University, so he must be a friend of Karen's from college.
Oh, okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, so before we move to Karen's next blog post, I want you to just note supporters in quotes, and I want you to note protect or shield. So let's go on to Karen's next amazing literary creation, blog post number 16. Let's be clear. You cannot claim to, quote, support the Furbush children, John's niece and nephew, as people like Carrie Roberts do, if you are actively covering for their killers. Carrie Roberts is not interested in, what did I say? Protecting or shielding. Exactly the same words that Karen Reed used in her text. This young boy, she is exploiting him on social media for likes as he parades around in an Albert shirt. Then he randomly puts his stream of consciousness, repetitious copy paste nonsense, inserts it like he always does. John O'Keefe went into 34 Fairview alive. That is a fact.
Yeah, because repeated enough, just like they've, these key things that they repeated over and over and over again. If you do that enough, you make it real, you make it true in other people's minds.
And can we say real quickly, she is exploiting him on social media for likes is the most ironic statement coming from
But that's
Aiden.
what she says right here. That's using them for cover and for attention because these women have such pathetic lives. It's Karen Reed. It's not Aiden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, can we
And
go
you don't
back
see
and
her,
just,
you don't see her condemning him, by the way, for any of the behavior that
Because
he
it's
has
her
done.
words.
No. But why did the award-winning journalist put a period after John O'Keefe?
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Well, it's just like how he says, like Carrie Roberts do. I mean,
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, in
No.
all fairness, he did tell on the Phelps podcast, he did say that his grades were so low
Imagine
that when
it.
he could not find a major that would accept him in college. So he ended up choosing history.
I think he said C's and D's get degrees. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Something
Good
to that
God.
effect. So Yeah, but award winning.
And typically journalism, not that I think that was even his goal at the time, but journalism, you have to have a pretty decent GPA to even
Yeah.
try and get a bachelor's degree.
And a basic command of the English language.
Sure.
That's always helpful.
And where to put a period, right? So we don't want to be putting periods
And
in
how to
middle of
fact check.
sentences. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're
but you
gonna.
can get ad free for $10 a month.
Mhm. I
From
also
the
noticed he had a
award-winning
tracker.
journalist.
He has a tracker on his site that requires a download that you don't notice unless you're in certain browsers. So beware of visiting his blog. I do not recommend it. You will get computer diseases.
Oh, great.
So,
Great. A CTD.
yeah.
Yes.
CTD.
Yeah, as opposed to other diseases.
Yeah.
When-
Yeah.
When you interact in person with him. Anyway.
Oh, let's not
Okay,
talk about
so-
that.
So this blog post where he's plagiarizing Karen Reed poorly is on April 30th, but I'm hopping back for a second to show you something that he grabbed from earlier. So on 428 in the text messages, he asked the intermediary, is court Wednesday or Tuesday? And I covered this message before. Karen says it's Wednesday. NBC was wrong twice. So in his paragraph over here, it says, sources tell me Jennifer McCabe is planning to go to court on Wednesday, and I pray to God she does because I have a lot of questions for her.
Wow.
Eventually, in the text messages, Karen gets tired of. Karen feels like this points to her when he says sources. So she gets irritated and she says, you can't say sources told me this, sources told me that. So she's kind of, it's getting old for her too. And you got to realize we're barely 2 weeks into his coverage of the case. Barely. So on May 6th, these messages, this entire week, Aiden is big sad because he tells the intermediary and Karen that he's run out of material. The text messages aren't coming fast enough. Whatever is he going to do? We're not going to go out and source information ourselves. That's ridiculous. That's something a journalist would do. We're relying on text messages from Karen Reed and we're running out of material. So he's kind of begging for material. And you can see at the top left, it says material. Hang on, let me see. I think I have a screenshot. Let me put this one up first because I have that whole message. So this says, you may have answered this, but I'm not allowed to talk about those photos on the show tonight, am I, mommy? And she says,
Oh, I was like,
she says, don't talk about those on the show tonight. Okay, mommy. Anything else I should talk about that I haven't hit in blogs yet? Feel like I'm out of new material.
We need some new material.
Yeah, and can we
Mhm.
just stop here when he said Karen Reed does not direct my reporting? He is literally asking her, what should I talk about? So he's a liar. He's been lying to you. It's been Karen the whole time.
imagine if this was not Karen. Imagine this is just a completely different story, trial, and there's a murder defendant. And the journalist is like, what you got? What you got? What can you give me next? And that murder defendant is just handing out speculations, red herrings, just whatever they can do to craft a story into the public. I just don't think anyone else would have been able to do that. I think this would be more appalling to people if they put that into a different story, right? If this was Charles Manson, being like, hey,
Right.
look at these cops.
Right.
Look at these cops over here.
Right.
Think of this, you guys. Take Karen out of it if you've already glamorized her in your mind.
And there actually is a similar example, not a murder defendant, but there is a really important example because it points to journalistic ethics, and that it was covered on the murder sheet. It was about the Burger Chef case in Indiana. and how Ashley Flowers interacted with the detective on the case and how her reporting was shaped by that interaction. I won't give it away, but I encourage you to go listen to the Murder Sheet series on Ashley Flowers. And
what case is it, Leah?
The Burger Chef case in Indiana, those kids that were all these teenagers that were murdered at a Burger Chef restaurant.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And it's part of their, so they have they started their podcast about the Burger Chef murders. And so they have a very long series on Burger Chef. And within that series, they discuss this giant journalistic problem that was created when she did this for a podcast that was called Red Ball. And because the host of the podcast, Anya, is a journalist, she knows the rules. So she talks in there about journalistic ethics and how people guiding your reporting, the subject of your story or a player in your story guiding your reporting is a problem. So anyway, go listen to that. Side note. So yeah, I like the Charles Manson example better, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Wait, go backwards.
Oh, that's the next one.
Okay.
That wasn't backwards. That's the next
Because
one.
I definitely want to talk about that hair.
Yeah, we're going to be here for a while. Okay. So at the top, so that message I just showed you is at the top left where it says 5623. So Karen's like, I don't know. Does he have access to the mass courts online? Stop bothering me. I'm not sure if they're public. They have not become part of any of our motions, so I know that the defense has never made them public. I'm just not sure if the state has made them public. And he says, okay, I'll review beforehand. So she says, and this time the intermediary put it in quotes, what is he planning to talk about? That's continued on the second message to the right of this one.
What is he asking if he has access to? Is there some...
Karen is asking if he has access to the mass courts online because she has all this stuff she wants to give him, but she says, I'm not sure if they're public. He's bothering me about content. Tell him to go to the mass courts online and just grab some stuff.
She's asking him to be the investigative journalist that Altman was.
Yeah.
But he's having to go back to her and ask.
Mm-hmm. So he says, well, I wasn't sure if there's something I haven't talked about. Call-in videos, Walsh case investigation. So then the in quotes again from Karen. How about the hair on the bumper? I'd feel a little better having him show those photos. They're not butt hairs, whatever that means. And then this. How about the Levy Deitch info? So enter Adam Deitch on May 26th, 2023. Can put a little bookmark in
I think it was May 6th. Yeah.
May 6th.
I actually took this text this week and I put it on Adam Deitch's post. I didn't get a reply from Adam.
What?
But I think he did not say a word about it. But I think it would be interesting.
If anyone is local, I highly recommend going to one of Deitch's, I don't know how to say his name, one of his campaign speeches where he goes and asks questions from the public, because there are questions that he is not answering, and doesn't mean he's been nefarious, but I think these are questions that need to be asked and he needs to respond. He owes it. He owes it to the public. He owes it to John.
It would also be my suggestion to take those text messages and blow them up on Eliza little poster board.
Yeah,
right.
Right. Yes, do that for sure. Because if he's a man of integrity, because if it was me, right? And so if I am above board and if I'm beyond reproach and I see these text messages and my name is being used that way, I certainly would want to come out and say, hey, I listen, whatever these two were doing, I had nothing to do with it. I don't know how they found out my name. Have no idea, but I had nothing to do with what was going on here. And
well,
he's been silent.
I went on his website this morning to try to find, because I saw pictures of him doing what Tuesday just spoke about, talking to the public. So I was trying to find, I asked him on his website on Twitter, where his next speaking engagement would be, but he didn't answer me.
Oh, please go.
But I went on his website to see if I could find any upcoming speaking engagements, but I did read his, little bio about himself. And I thought this was really interesting. He said, until November, I served as a federal prosecutor in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Boston, where I handled bank robberies, gun and drug charges, child exploitation, cyber stalking, and all kinds of fraud. I then focused on investigating and prosecuting corruption cases across Massachusetts, including Norfolk County. So I wanted to ask him what corruption case he prosecuted in Norfolk County.
Yeah, I want to know too.
And what corruption he found.
I want him to give a definition of what corruption is in his own words.
Yeah.
Because this word, he's running on a campaign about corruption.
Right.
And it's like, well, then what corruption are you talking about in the Karen Read case?
Because we know none was found because the case was closed without finding any corruption.
And there's a
And there was an
YouTuber out
independent
there
audit,
who,
too, so I mean, sorry.
there's a
Tuesday, go ahead.
YouTuber out there. No, I don't know her name. I don't know the name of her YouTube, but someone shared a clip with me where she was watching our stream, and she basically was trying to belittle us on the definition of corruption when we were talking about there's no corruption in this case.
Yeah.
And she was like,
Was that the one who she posted Michael Proctor's texts as the corruption?
oh, did she? I have no idea. I don't
Yeah,
even
so
know.
she ended up answering you, and you asked for the corruption, and so they think those texts are corruption.
Yep.
I mean, they clearly do not understand the definition of corruption.
Right.
Right. Because it's right here today, Saturday.
Well, I've asked for it, multiple times. These people to define corruption for me. They absolutely can't. There's a difference between, sloppy police work and misconduct and corruption.
And spelling errors.
There's three different
behavior.
Spelling errors.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So, right. I mean, and just human errors, right? I mean, just mistakes. So they can't, they just throw that word out. They just say everything's corrupt.
Yeah, because everybody tweets
my
to it.
internet, my Wi-Fi is corrupt.
Your Wi-Fi is corrupt. It is.
That is true. It is.
Okay, so he's out of material. He throws out some things that he might cover. Then Karen says, how about the Levy Deach info? And then also Karen says, Henning filed the opposition. Has he seen that? And Aiden says, I haven't shown Brian Albert's opposition, but I will, Mom. And then, can I see the hairs? She showed me in person. So he's clearly speaking directly to the intermediary. She's just relaying messages. He can go through all the witnesses that have lawyered up. McCabe, Reddington, Albert, Henning, Colin, Joe Krowski, Higgins, Bill Connolly. All were in court sitting together except for Reddington. He was in the geriatric section. Then she put pictures of the hairs, the evidence markers next to them. So Karen Read.
Wait, sorry. I know we keep stopping, but go back to these hairs, please, for the love of God. Okay. So I have been a hobbyist photographer for years. And so just looking at these photos, don't even look at the hair, look at the stickers. The angle of when you take a picture, I mean, I know this is common sense, but the angle you take a picture can greatly change the viewpoint of something like a curled hair. So when this was shown in trial 1, which they didn't seem to go over it in trial 2, like they tried in trial 1, I might be wrong, but I don't recall that. This is the most absurd thing I have ever seen. This is actually easily testable to put a curled thin string or hair and take a picture from a different angle and see how it looks differently.
Yep.
The end. Okay.
The end. Okay. So Karen Reed takes all of that information and she writes blog post number 26. I don't know why we're over here. Let me go over here. Anyway, it is what it is. Canton Cover Up Part 26. Links to all chronological court filings in the here. Let me. Is that who is that?
I think it's Mama.
Is it Mama?
I just muted her.
Sorry. Links to all chronological court filings in the Karen Reed murder case. So when he was asking, I'm out of stuff, Mom. And she's like, well, just go to mass courts and get stuff. So he just goes to mass courts. He downloads everything. He puts it in chronological order. Bam, blog post. So
Can I just say too? Oh, can I interrupt and just say that Aiden does admit in these text messages that he has an attorney login. So he says he has an attorney friend.
Yes.
And we've all suspected that. We've seen it on his computer. So yeah, he's using a hijacked login from an attorney that he should not be accessing.
And
so
Meredith,
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Meredith has recently confirmed that, as well as someone else that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. So yeah, there are multiple sources of information about that. So this is May 8th, 2023. So let's go back for a second to May 5th, 2023. And the intermediary sends 2 videos of Colin Albert. And so the bottom one is still loading when this screenshot is happening. The top one is, you can see it's still spinning, but it's already loaded into her texts. So on May 5th, he says, any word on where Colin posted those and how she found them? I can't say. She won't tell me. So this is the one we covered before. And he's like she won't respond or she won't say, I just want to know. She won't say. Then he says, it's already up. So blog post number 25 again. Here are the videos of Colin where he says Colin often posts on social media. And
Can I stop you for a second?
Uh-huh.
So she won't say, and this is pure speculation on my part, so nobody take it as pure fact, but I wonder if those videos came from Aaron Beatty.
I wondered the same.
100%. That's where
Yeah.
she got them. Right. Very protective of them.
I'm tired of protecting these people. Like, they shouldn't be protected. Like, you did horrible things and you contributed to it. Like, people should know who you are.
And in these text messages, which we haven't shown yet, and we'll show them later in the series, Karen just tells Aiden the origin of the Colin was in the house lie. So we'll get to that. But in this same blog post with the 2 videos about Colin, Aiden includes the very first communication that he, one of the earliest communications that he got, maybe not the very first, which is this Tim Albert profile photo, the innocuous one that I showed before, with coming from the email. So he's dredging this back up from the earliest days. We're at May, what are we at? May 5th-ish week. And he's going back to the very beginning because, again, he's running a little bit low on material. So I better go grab Tim Alberts, better go get that email from the intermediary, pop that up there. And so he just churns this information over and over and over again with new information mixed in until, it's been repeated enough times. It's like propaganda. And actually, Tuesday said this very early in this channel, that it's really a marketing technique. What propaganda is about is a marketing technique. And in marketing, they tell you got to say it 5 times, right? Say it 5 times and the consumer will buy it. And that's what's happening here. He's churning the info. He's adding new stuff there. Have y'all ever heard that recipe, which grosses me out so bad? It's like the never-ending soup or something. And people make this soup that they just leave simmering all the time, and then they add new stuff to it, and they're mixing this old soup with the new soup.
That's absolutely
I am not eating that. No.
Look up.
That sounds like
It's a
salmonella or E.
real
coli.
thing.
No.
So gross, but it's a real thing somewhere. And it's exactly what I thought of when I got done with this, where he's just like adding new stuff into the mixer, and repeating the old lies with abandon. So anything else before I go on to some tips about journalism?
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm ready for this though. I'm excited.
Okay. So there is a global charter of ethics for journalists. So this is the IFJ. The IFJ Global Charter, which was written in 1954 at some event. And so this binds all journalists all over the world together. So I'm going to read you some important ones, and I think you're going to understand why I picked these out. Number 3, the journalist shall report only in accordance with the facts of which she knows the origin. The journalist shall not suppress essential information or falsify any document. She will be careful to reproduce faithfully statements and other material that non-public persons publish in social media. Number 4, obviously this has been updated since 1954, just putting that out there. The journalist shall only use fair methods to obtain information, images, documents, and data, and she will always report her status as a journalist and will refrain from using hidden recordings of images and sounds, except where it is impossible for her to collect information that is overwhelmingly in the public interest. She will demand free access to all sources of information and the right to freely investigate the facts of public interest. Now, who do we know that does a lot of secret recordings? Anybody know?
I know
someone.
I know.
Yeah. And that person secretly recorded Karen Read. Imagine that. Yeah. The notion, this is the one that really struck me about when you see the texts and their relationship to the blogs in this weird manic way that he has of just churning out 3 blogs a day because he got 3 texts from Karen. The notion of urgency or immediacy in the dissemination of information shall not take precedence over the verification of facts, sources, and or the offer of a reply. So the time pressure that he felt to just get this all out there so he could get the clicks and views, get it to press, so to speak, 2 or 3 times on the day you get the text message and then hop on a 3-hour live and repeat the lies is wild to me. Okay. Number 6, the journalist shall do the utmost to rectify any errors or public information which is found to be inaccurate in a timely, explicit, complete, and transparent manner. So the photograph of Michael Proctor with not Jen McCabe's kids, which has been out there for 2 years now, this has never been corrected.
Yeah.
The journalist will respect privacy. She shall respect the dignity of the person's name and or represented and inform the interviewees whether the conversation and other material is intended for publication. Clearly, he disclosed Ashley Bell's information involuntarily. She shall show particular consideration to inexperienced and vulnerable interviewees. Now, he did not give the vulnerable people in the story an interview. He didn't interview them, and he didn't get their consent to talk about them and to say the things he said about Colin and Caitlin and Julie and Sarah and all these people. And I think that by now we can include the adults in a vulnerable population of people that he spoke about. The journalist will consider serious professional misconduct to be A, plagiarism, which he clearly plagiarized Karen Read, distortion of facts, which he did on the regular, slander, libel, defamation, unfounded accusations. 13, and I'm skipping some, but these were the ones that stuck out to me. The journalist, and I'll put this PDF on Twitter. The journalist shall not use the freedom of the press to serve any other interest and shall refrain from receiving any unfair advantage, $50,000 a week, or personal gain, $10,000 a week during the trial, because of the dissemination or non-dissemination of information. He, she will avoid or put an end to any situation that could lead him, her to a conflict of interest in the exercise of his, her profession. He, she will avoid any confusion between his activity and that of advertising or propaganda. He, she will refrain from any form of insider trading and market manipulation. And finally, the journalist will not undertake any activity or engagement likely to put his, her independence in danger. So the relationship with Karen Read, he's not independent. He, she will, however, respect the methods of collection, dissemination of information that he, she has freely accepted, such as off the record anonymity or embargo, provided that these commitments are clear and unquestionable, which they obviously are not.
I think it's important too, is that, he's talking about corruption in, police corruption, but here he is as a journalist, or I should say LARPing as a journalist, and using that term and weaponizing it, which is corruption, is actually corruption of the media, right? We as viewers, we as listeners, we want to trust our news sources. And if you are going to represent yourself as a journalist, you need to be held to a high standard. And the problem is that you can't really regulate that. And that's why we have so many issues right now online with the explosion of YouTube and social media and all that, people kind of just buying a microphone and reporting and calling themselves a reporter, calling themselves a journalist. And there's no accountability really, because you have the free speech. Free speech is a thing. However, it's not a free for all without consequence, obviously. But I really do think that is a huge issue we have in our society right now, is trying to navigate honest people with integrity, with good intentions, like Brian Entin. I find him to be a journalist, and I think it really, really takes a person with huge humility to be a wonderful journalist, because you really have to remove yourself. You have to remove your emotions, and you really have to openly look at both sides of the story and not act in retaliation, not act in doxing, not trying to dog whistle people, which is exactly what Aiden has done and exactly what Karen actually benefited from in this case.
And what's concerning, it's so disturbing to see this, because what you also realize at the same time is that people thought they were hearing Aiden's voice. And people to this day, I think, will tell you that they thought they were hearing Aiden's voice. They weren't hearing Aiden's voice. They were hearing Karen's voice. And one of the duties of fair journalism is to know, to tell people whose voice they're hearing. Am I hearing from the reporter, or am I hearing something someone told the reporter to say? That's a huge difference.
Yeah, you're not a journalist at that point. It's almost as if, whoever, a company, Johnson & Johnson hired him to do press for their company. You know what I mean? It's very similar. It's people that are
marketing.
Doing that.
Right? It's PR. It's marketing.
Yeah, exactly. It's PR and marketing. It's not.
It's more PR, really.
Yeah. And it's and even with the best intentions, which I don't believe are here, even with the best intentions, PR is all about manipulating. It's about reframing things in a certain way. It's about fixing. They call celebrity attorneys the fixers, if you've ever heard that. Celebrity attorneys are known for fixing rich people problems. And so we see all this going on, and it should be questioned. It should be viewed. People should be skeptical as they are seeing the connection between a murder defendant and a journalist or someone pretending to be in the public's favor.
But also legally speaking, which I have no authority to do, it's important to him to be perceived as a journalist because it is that title that he says gives him protection against the criminal complaints against him.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
very layered into his criminal complaints.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
that's
think
kind
the
of
judge made
not-
an important distinction. Sorry, I think I'm
No,
behind.
go ahead.
But I think the
No, go ahead.
judge made an important distinction yesterday when he called him a citizen journalist, right? So we have our traditional journalists, our trained journalists, our journalists that have ethics, and then we have our Aidan Carneys of the world
Right.
who are making it up as they go along.
Well, I
Sorry,
think,
guys,
you know, the
my
other thing
internet is
too,
terrible.
that's okay. The other thing I was noticing too is, did you see the post that he shared from Ted Daniels? Ted Daniels has me blocked, so I don't know what he was doing, but he was knocking on someone's door or
Why would
something.
Ted
where
block you?
He has me blocked too.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, but I know why
I must
I'm
not be trying hard enough because I'm not blocked yet.
I know why I'm blocked.
So what was he doing? Does anyone know? He was knocking on someone's a business or something. He was trying to get information. I don't know what he was doing, but
Ted Daniels was?
yesterday, and Aidan reposted it and said, you know, this is why I'm charged with
doing the same thing as Ted Daniels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do that. And then I look on all the comments underneath, and you know, the 10 fans, you know, whatever. I mean, the fans he has left are all writing how true that is, and it makes me crazy because Ted Daniels is not knocking on someone's door, calling them a murderer, telling them to say the truth, tell the story. You know, it drives
That's
me
why
wild.
he is exactly a cult leader. I mean, we look at this even in the intro video that we saw where he's like, Jesus wants you to hate the witnesses. I mean, he's even using religion to try and make his point, to try and make you hate people by saying that Jesus wants you to do this. And the longer clip of that, by the way, is he talks about when Jesus goes into the
temple.
The temple, thank you, and flips the tables. And he's like, see, he gets mad because he, you know, whatever. And he doesn't even tell the story properly. Jesus flips the tables because people were grifting, basically, is why he was mad.
Right.
So the irony of Aidan
him using
the story to tell you that Jesus wants you to hate the witnesses while Aidan's wearing grifting t-shirts and has a online market that had like hundreds of t-shirts you can buy or whatever. It's just, it's so absurd, but he is a cult leader. I'm sorry. He acts like it. He talks like it. He has no accountability like a cult leader. He literally thinks that he is a god. He acts like it. He has his face as Jesus Christ on one of his shirts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually
unreal.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was same thing, right? Tuesday, I think Koala posted yesterday, maybe, you know, all of his, you know, avid female fans, you know, there's like 4 or 5 of them that are constantly posting, you know, in defense of him. And they're all calling the text messages that Koala's posting between him and Lindsay fake and that they're edited, and Video Jesus, whoever that weirdo is, is posting all these
Who's
things.
always wrong,
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
always.
Koala says, have you guys noticed those two haven't come out and said these are fake?
Yep.
Because
just
they're
like
not.
Alan Jackson,
exactly
like
yes.
Alan Jackson and Karen didn't when he was grabbing her boobs at the seaport.
And they haven't come out and said they're fake because they're
it's
not.
not fake.
No, and not only that, they didn't come out and say it was fake. They didn't act like the picture didn't take place at all. They actually acknowledged the picture. They said that it was just they were just
fooling around.
or fooling around. So they acknowledge the picture is real, but Hong Kong.
Do you guys remember when I had that post where Yannetti is talking about he had that conversation with Reddington? So it was a text message, and it's Yannetti, and they're talking about Jen McCabe going in front of the grand jury. And so I had posted it, and then Aiden Carney comes out and he's like, yeah, Big Red would like you to believe this is me and Yannetti or whatever it was. He's like, no, it's a screenshot that Karen sent. Like, and then I did another tweet and I was like, well, thank you for confirming, Aiden.
Yes.
Like, thank you for falling right into that trap, bud. Like, great job. You're award winning.
And that's the thing.
You're an award winning fool.
He always acknowledges that this stuff is real, and they still deny it's real. He'll go on his show and say, nobody cares about those. Okay, yeah, we see them, but nobody cares about them. He's not saying they're fake. But they
That's what he said, right? That's what he said about him and Lindsay's text. No one cares. No one cares.
But there's still,
I mean, he has degraded. He even degrades his own viewers. I mean, there's that one girl, Valerie, who, I mean, he said awful things about her when she dared. I mean, she dared to say something against him, and he shamed her. He physically demeaned her, degraded her, and then she suddenly is a follower of his again, and it makes me. It makes me sad because women should stop following this dude. I mean, he's an awful person. He has no respect for women whatsoever.
He would have no fans left Tuesday. 99% of his
99%. Yep.
Literally.
Right.
I mean, I guess there's women that write into convicts and stuff.
Oh, yeah, exactly the same kind of woman. And he, on some of these spaces, which have been really great, which have been, us talking to people who believe Karen is innocent, and on some of the one yesterday, they are admitting on every space it's a cult. They can see in hindsight now that they've distanced themselves from Aiden and have seen what's gone on, especially with him and Meredith, and the stuff that Koala has put out, that it's a cult, and they were in a cult. Now they're out of a cult, and things look different when you're out of a cult. And they're lucky to be out of it.
Yeah.
Because the next step is matching pajamas and a night drink.
It can be like a boiling water. We've talked about this before, the boiling water and the frog syndrome. Yes. You don't walk in and think, oh, this is a cult. Right. It's like things are just starting to change around you. And then all of a sudden you realize you're in boiling hot water. And I think you're right. I think it is really nice to see that people have become very, very aware and then have advocated for people to leave the cult, basically.
Yeah, and there was a lot of support last night. I listened to a different space. There was a lot of support that people have for each other, for, people who have been abused. And I just long for that next step where in addition to supporting the people who have been harmed by Aiden, who are just regular people, can they extend that same kindness to the witnesses in this case? Can we just get there? If we can get there, that'd be great, because it's the same behavior. It's worse harm, and has lasting impacts on the very young people whose lives he completely derailed. And by he, I mean Karen. just to be clear. After
Yeah.
this.
And I think there are people out there too. Like I've noticed on the spaces on Twitter, there are people who still think Karen is innocent. However, they are saying that they're sorry for things they said in the past about they are acknowledging it. And I think we need to give them grace for that, because that's a pretty big step to step back and be like, oh crap. You know, I think the new step is I just think the new step though forward is acknowledging that their source on this case was lying, was misleading. The Karen was omitting information, and this is important next step to acknowledge.
I listened to two women last night. I think Lydia's the one that told me it was on, or maybe that was another night, but Babs is her name, and then another one. And they were great. Their spaces were great. And they said some kind things about the witnesses, not kind, but that they had, felt badly for what had gone on with them. And I don't think it was these two, but I had heard on another space, a couple of people said, which I accept, that they were like, I don't know what happened that night. I don't know what happened, but I don't think those people killed him. Which is fine, right? Like if you want to ignore all the evidence that shows she did it, whatever. If you have to, you've been in this so long that you can't all of a sudden be like, she did this, but at least accept, of course, these people did not do this. I mean,
yes, the hatred is what caused so much division, that information wasn't getting shared properly. There was no conversation, and you guys are probably, I came into this before trial 1, but when I joined, when I was entering into the conversation on Twitter, I was asking questions. I mean, that's all I was doing. I didn't know who these people were. I didn't know anything. I'm asking questions, and I cannot believe how I was treated. I was like, why are these people calling me names? Like, I can't even ask a question.
You were asking questions, right?
Yeah, it was wild.
It's the closest thing to politics that I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
You're just othering a group of people and then just hating on them. Just solid hate.
I remember posting on Twitter, and I wasn't even talking about Karen Read. I was not involved in it at that point. Julie was being very kind and telling me to stay away. But I just remember posting, something happened. I can't remember what it was. It had nothing to do with Karen Read, but I posted, don't be a Karen. I had
God, I remember that. I remember
people come and attack me on that post, and I wasn't even talking about Karen Read. Like, it was insane.
I remember that.
Not long after that, I joined, because if you're going to bully me, I started talking out about it, because if you're coming to bully me, I'm going to find out why. And
and I said that yesterday because Deirdre had a space. She is such a great host. Like, she's so great at facilitating conversations between people that don't agree with each other. And she, she was saying the thing that we talked about at the beginning. She's saying, move on. And you said it Tuesday. She's like, we have to move on from talking about the case because the case is over. But what I said is, what's not over is this treatment of the witnesses. I mean, this morning, there are messages. There are messages every day, hateful.
And I think
every single day.
People don't understand. It's like in Iceland, like what do you call it? A big
iceberg where you can see the
Thank you. I say ice castle for some reason. An iceberg. What we see on online, what we see online is atrocious. But what you guys actually don't see that's happening on a daily basis, you guys, what we see is a small percentage of it. And we've been lucky, I'm going to say the word lucky, but we've been lucky to be able to see some of the underbelly of it that is not public, that is not made public. It is egregious. It is daily. It is no person, not even Karen Reed, I don't believe, should be enduring that type of daily harassment. And so what you see is a glimpse, and there is a civil trial pending. This is still active. And if Karen's allowed to go and talk and interview, then I think it's fair that people are allowed to talk and carry this case on.
Well, I mean, and like you just said, I would never endorse Karen going through this and getting these types of messages, being followed around, you know, people protesting outside of her house or where she worked. Like, I would never endorse that.
No.
Well, and that's what I asked for on this space yesterday. I said, can we agree that there are some universally disgusting things that should not happen? Can we just agree on that? Like, if it's bad, and that's why I asked the question about if you say it's bad when Turtle Boy said it, it then has to be bad when Karen Reed says it, because it's objectively terrible. Like, you have to agree with me on that.
Right.
Yep.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
It's like Tuesday said, they're still living it daily, so it doesn't stop.
Can you, Lydia, I just texted you. I don't think she's
I'm
gonna
on
mind.
it.
You're on
I'm
it?
on it.
Yeah, I don't think she'll mind if we put it up.
Okay.
But just so you can see what we were talking about. These are from today. So it's still happening every single day. So even though the trial is over for Karen, the abuse that has been heaped upon these witnesses because of her hasn't stopped.
Directly because of her.
This is this morning from to Jen.
Well, some of these are from earlier.
But
There's one from yesterday.
Yes.
April, June.
But it's the same
late in
person.
June.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same person. And then
I mean,
yesterday,
imagine having that much heat.
they woke up. They left her alone for 4 months, and then they wake up yesterday, and they're like, "I'm gonna send something hateful to Jen McCabe today."
Well, and how
you know
interesting
what?
that
Go ahead, Jill.
Aiden's hearing was yesterday, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
I was just
after
gonna say
that, now we've got this anger, this lashing out going on.
Yeah, because they made sure to say her name how many times yesterday.
Yes.
Yep.
And I was just going to say, that is why when, Lindsay and Aiden do these things like posting misleading texts, that she was involved in, and claiming that Jen McCabe is stalking Aiden Kearney, which she has never done. And there were many other women involved in those messages who will testify to the same thing. This is what happens, right? So this is what happens when you're putting lies out there and saying that Jen's stalking Aiden and taking pictures of Aiden's car, which is completely false. This is what happens, and which is obviously what Lindsay and Aiden want, right?
Sure.
Right. So
I think what I don't get about this, and I don't get about these people, and so they're not connected emotionally to this case. I you know what I mean? Like, as far as knowing these people, and they're doing things like this. As someone who has had a case like this and has been, part of somebody who was murdered, I was so careful with my social media. I looked into Keith Blake's background. I told the family what I found. I think I made 1 or 2 posts before the trial, because what I wanted was this person to get a fair trial.
Yeah.
I would never think to, lash out as much as I wanted to at him or his family. I would have never done these things. And yet you have these people. I don't know what is wrong with you. I really don't know what's wrong with you to do something like this. There is something seriously wrong with you. And you can't tell me that you are a patriot fighting corruption, because if you were, you wouldn't be trying to sway the outcome of a case. You wouldn't be doing things like this. You would be wanting fair justice. You wouldn't want vigilante justice. You wouldn't want these kinds of things happening. So everything
if someone is innocent so innocent, then
right,
provably innocent, then why are you out in the streets, and marketing this stuff when there's a trial coming up to prove that
Correct.
she is quote unquote innocent? I need to say real quickly, they misspelled hoe. They're talking about a gardening hoe here.
Not Tuesday with the spell check.
Really is my pet peeve, guys.
But look at
You're gonna
what-
call someone a hoe. At least spell it right.
Yeah, spell it right.
Come
Damn
on
it.
now. But look at what Nosy said. This is from the UK. I didn't even notice that. So this person feels the need to call Jen McCabe a HOE.
Oh my God.
From England repeatedly.
And you
Like,
also,
that
you
is-
just, you know it's a woman. You know it's
Yeah.
a woman.
it's a woman.
100%.
If you're doing this stuff, if you are out there and you're doing stuff like this, like get some help.
You have
Like,
to
go
go see a
go
therapist.
to
You
therapy.
have to.
Fix the things. Do the work in your own life because
You
this is
have
not it. This ain't
No, it's not normal, guys. It's just not.
Nope.
Help and Hooked on Phonics.
it.
Like you got to do something. Like this is not normal.
And
No,
it's not normal for someone in England to be this obsessed with a case that they're calling someone a garden implement.
Did you see Earl's comment? Oh, she's reading them all in the British accent.
You lying whore.
Yeah, so like the scariest
I
is
love
when
you
I began
guys.
to realize it wasn't just Massachusetts. It is scary. Like Pancreas Lady. Why are these people in other countries obsessing about Karen Reed? I don't know.
Well, obsessing about Jen McCabe.
Obsessing. I'm
Right,
sorry.
right.
Obsessing about Jen McCabe.
Right? I mean, that's even like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, it's so weird that you would focus on a witness in a murder case half a world away. It's just,
Yes.
it's so mentally deranged.
and stop making these people your real life. Like
Stop.
leave these people
Yeah.
alone in any case.
Yeah. Why would
Right.
you contact someone? I would
Right.
never
Don't do that.
imagine.
Don't do that.
No.
Imagine you're
why?
just like watching the Robert Tellis trial and you're like, "Oh, I think
You're
I'm
just
gonna
gonna text Robert.
pull up
I'm
my
calling his mom.
You lying whore.
Right.
So wild. Wild.
It really
I mean-
says more about the person having impulse problems,
Yeah.
impulse control, and
Yeah.
anger problems.
and
Because
that's
rational
who's-
people don't do that.
Right.
No.
They don't, but that's who's drawn to personalities like Karen and like Aiden.
Yeah.
But you know
Those
what?
conspiracies
You know
in
what's
general.
you know what's funny is this is going to be a big part of I assume of his trial, right? His witness intimidation trial is all of these people and all of these things that they have. This is all because of what he did, right?
Yeah.
That all of these people do this. Like that's a big part when you read up on witness intimidation, whatever, or actually his defamation more, is all of the people that have come from him and that have defamed these people. And just like when you look at the Colin Did It post, right?
Yeah.
And how everybody started following him. I didn't mean to say witness intimidation, I meant to say defamation. That's a big part of that when that eventually comes up is how many people did it because of him and followed him.
Yep.
And there's a
Well,
lot.
and he told them they could do it. Yeah, he told them. How many times do we have him on live saying, "Go ahead and do it. You're allowed to do this.
Yeah.
You're allowed to do that." So,
Yeah.
you reap what you sow, Aiden. So get ready.
I was watching that, I don't know who that woman is. I sent you guys the clip last night because Sunny Spirit did a really good video and she used she was critiquing us. It's the one who always wears like the headband. I don't know who she is. She has
Yeah.
a lot.
That's
Yeah.
the one who was
I
talking
know
about the
you're talking about.
corruption, not
Oh,
understanding
yeah, who is
corruption.
that? Is she?
Yeah.
She's a YouTuber. She's a YouTuber.
Yes.
But anyway, she was talking to Aiden
Yeah,
about
whatever.
She was talking to Aiden about Brian Higgins and about the time when Aiden drove by his house and Brian happened to be outside. And it was hilarious because she's like, that was something else, right? Like you know, how dare he be outside there and yell at you? And then they both start talking, and it turns into that it's Brian Higgins' fault that he was outside when Aiden was stalking his house. Like, it's, these people they're just, the gaslighting is off the hook. It's off the hook.
And no, go ahead.
Is she the one that, is it like a therapist? Is that the one?
Yes. Yep.
Or is that somebody else? Like, I mean,
no, I
come
think that's her.
on.
Yeah, it's the one. I don't know who she is. I never saw her before, and it was the video I sent you guys last night. But she was like,
she knows you, Carrie.
She was shocked. You know how nothing about him driving by his home.
Right. Just about the audacity of Brian Higgins to be outside.
How dare you be in your front yard? Oh my goodness.
And how dare you be mad that we're stalking you?
But they do feel that way. How dare they go to kids' games? How dare they go outside and be outside when Aiden's driving?
Oh, well, I mean, when you talk about it, they'll say, well, they should just stay home.
Yes.
Yeah. They should just turn off their phone. Well, they should just not look at social media.
Yeah.
So, okay. So they should have no life because you want to act the way you're acting.
Right.
And you know what that argument is? That argument is she deserved to be raped because she was wearing a short skirt.
Yes.
You're right.
100%. 100%.
Same thing.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So if you want to adopt that, you just let me know. That's your feelings on the matter because they're the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, amazing for a therapist to be saying something like that. Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I think Jen has received some messages some mean messages from someone who is a therapist as well.
There are a lot of therapists that are well known in this case for making really, really awful statements.
Mm-hmm.
You know, creator types.
Yeah.
So there's no profession that is immune from absolutely insane people.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Well, that was great, Lydia. We have more, right, for another show?
Oh, we have so much more.
You guys are all frozen for me.
We have
Just so you know.
hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah. So that was
You did excellent. That was a fantastic presentation.
That was
Thank
good
you.
stuff.
Thanks. It's
And I
wild to
want
see
to tell
it.
you guys, it just started snowing here.
I can't believe that.
I know.
Stop it.
Not even
Stop
kidding.
it.
That's why I keep looking outside and I'm a little distracted. I keep like,
You need to go
terrible.
play in it while you have it.
Wow. No, don't play in it. Get a
No.
get
go
a,
play in it.
like no,
flamethrower
like
and
Julie,
melt
like
it.
I'm talking like it's not even gonna stick. Yeah, it's not snow like what you guys are used to, but it's snow for
Still,
No.
that's crazy.
Well, you guys saw with the Amazon. I had to dig that
Oh my
package out of the
God.
snow.
What a jerk.
And it was such a weird thing because I woke up and I saw the tire tracks and I was like, my first thought was like someone stole my husband's car. And then I'm like, oh, the car's there. And then I'm like, but there's tire tracks. So then I went in the garage and I'm like, oh, I thought they stole my car and my car's there. And I'm like,
Julie,
what
why
is
is that your
going
first
on?
thought?
And then I was like, so we're like Texas, like you can open carry here. And my husband often has a gun in his car. And I was like, someone came and stole his gun, which I mean, like in the middle of a snowstorm, is anyone going through
Right.
cars to steal guns?
No.
And I'm like, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I still can't figure it out. And then I'm like, oh, that's right. I did that Amazon overnight delivery. It must be Amazon that
They
came into
usually
my
put it in your
driveway.
mailbox?
And yeah, they normally bring it to our porch, but this person was obviously very irritated that I would order something during a snowstorm, which when I ordered it, I did not know. And they just flung it out of the Amazon truck. So I had to like
So rude.
unbury it from the snow. And yeah. And it didn't help, obviously.
I was just about
right?
to say
What was
all
in
of that and it
package,
didn't
so
help.
here we are.
Oh, wow. Look what Earl just said.
Yeah.
The Testify
Yeah.
fundraiser is $158,000.
And wasn't it
Wow.
150 yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much. That's amazing. Ginny and I came up with, we were trying to think of the tagline, because remember we did Ginny had the 100K by, what was it, New Year's Day?
New Year's Day or something. Yeah.
So we were going to say 200K by Valentine's Day. That's the
Oh, that's cute.
We might be able to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the new line.
I love it.
All right, ladies.
Well, I guess it's time for Ginny to go play in the snow.
Yeah. I was just about to say, I'm going to go make a snowman.
Okay.
A little snowman.
Yeah.
The dogs are gonna love it. They're gonna love
You
it.
can make it. You can make it the size of Alan Jackson. Just
Yeah.
like that.
I'll put a yellow Tonka truck watch on it.
I love that Julie's like always 2 seconds behind your Wi-Fi. So your laugh is just cracks me up. I
So
love my
funny.
Julie.
Oh my gosh.
All
All
right.
right.
Have a good
Well,
rest of the day, guys.
Yeah, thanks
And
everyone
Bye,
for tuning in.
guys.
Thank you for the www.defendingthetruth.org. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Was Turtle unbelievable? Did you watch this? Oh my!
Yeah.
Nathan texted my son.
Yeah.
You know,
You turn it on, you gotta make sure you watch.
Mom, you gotta watch it. It's
Yep.
incredible. I said, oh my God, he's so smart and he's so.
I'll spell it out for you. It's cunt. Peggy O'Keefe is a cunt. Just to be perfectly clear, she's the biggest cunt I've ever
Okay?
seen.
In case you didn't fucking hate these people enough. And no matter how much you hate them, I assure you it is not enough. It is okay to hate them. Jesus wants you to hate them. I know that we were taught that, Jesus loves, and no. Jesus got pissed.
Karen admits she and Turtle Boy spoke on the phone 189 times in the year leading up to the trial.
It was almost every day for like 20 minutes. Like, what do you make of this? It's impossible for me to have any sympathy for any of these witnesses. Definitionally, is it harassing witnesses? Yes, they're witnesses against me in my prosecution. Knowing my school. Just like a lot of harassment. Can I have a moment, please? Sure.
You would have protested the Vietnam War and ended it. This is the modern equivalent to that. So the modern equivalent to that.
It's really, it has to be, we have to constantly remind people that Colin Albert was involved in the murder of John O'Keefe.
Karen admits she and Turtle Boy spoke on the phone 189 times in the year leading up to the trial.
It was almost every day for like 20 minutes.